Hey, you guys. Boy, I tell you, they've been in this chat for a while having their own little private conversation and chat.
Oh,
I mean, man, they can't wait. I'm looking at the string of conversation that's been going on. Oh my goodness. Yeah, we got a lot to talk about. I mean, I gotta say, even though it's some controversy going on especially Bold right now, I will say it's a better sweeps month than November and February.
totally.
Yeah.
I mean, I am not disappointed at all. Cause I mean, November, ooh, the whole Eric storyline on Bold, and then we had Jordan, and then February sweeps was the whole thing with the Luna and the popping and the pills and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So to finally get some real, hey, Bree,
Hi, Bree.
Hey, Bree.
is she there? We can't hear you, girl.
Is it working?
Oh, there you go.
Hey, guys.
How
Happy
are you?
Friday.
We was just
Good.
talking about how crazy it is this past week, and actually a better sweeps month compared to February and November.
That's true. I will give them that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, all right, let's go ahead and get this show on the road because obviously we got a lot to talk about. Welcome you guys to Soap Corner Talk, where myself, T, and then Keish, Trish, and Bree will be recapping both The Young and the Restless and The Bold and the Beautiful for the week of May 6th through May 10th. And so, what we normally do, we unpack The Young and the Restless first. Then we have a little bit of a break and housekeeping stuff in the middle. And then we unpack The Bold and the Beautiful. And then we have segments at the end like who's taken several seats and flip the script, changing certain storylines. And then, of course, our star of the week and then our pickle of the week. So, without any further ado, let's go ahead and jump. Oh, also make sure you hit the like button. I see how many. Hey, Bree, can you see how many folks in here?
We got over 50 people here so far. Happy Friday, everybody.
Yeah, and it's also Mother's Day weekend, so I saw you guys chatting in the chat box about Mother's Day. So yes, happy Mother's Day to all the mommies and everything. So, all right. So we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna do a summary for The Young and the Restless, and then we'll break down the storylines. And it's gonna be crazy next week. Oh my goodness, on both shows that is. Um, Give me 1 second. All right, so for The Young and the Restless, for the week of May 6th through May 10th. Diane is furious about the risk Jack took for another woman, and Victor pushes Jordan to drink until she croaks. Jordan loses control. Miss Abbott tells Alan to leave town, and Claire is urged to become Harrison's nanny. Mamie's family is shocked when she calls them disgusting cowards for accusing her of causing problems. Victor toys with Jordan, and Phyllis try to reason with Summer, while Kyle allows Claire time alone with Harrison. And then Victor plans to use Jordan against Jack. Summer confronts Kyle, and Phyllis and Diane lock horns over Claire. All right, so where y'all want to start?
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, I know, right? So much to choose from.
I guess we can get, because I know we touched on it, regarding Lily and Devon and the whole Mamie situation. I'm curious to what Keisha and Trish had to think about that. We had Trish use about the power play.
Mm-hmm.
I was not a fan of that. That was just diabolical, and just it's the usual behavior that you expect from a psychopathic murdering kidnapper who left her mother and Lauren to be taken out by fire in a cabin, and the rest of the story.
Wait, I'm confused. Who are you referring to?
Oh wait, I'm sorry.
I'm like, who were you talking about, Trish?
She ready for bold.
I know. I'm like, wait a minute. We were talking about Mamie and the Winters. And I'm like, who was in a cabin?
I'm messing with y'all, man. I'm so ready for bold. I can't even stand it.
Oh,
Yeah, y'all. I don't know. I mean, you don't have that kind of a share and start ordering people around. I mean, I don't get it. And Mamie was not like this. This is not the Mamie that we grew up watching.
mm,
I
okay.
think
Go
I
ahead.
think that's what bothers me, Trish, is that this wasn't how Mamie was back in the day.
Mm-mm.
And on top of that, Jill was so ugly to her. She was so mean to Mamie. I don't know if it was jealousy because she didn't like the relationship and the closeness that she had with John and how well loved she was by the Abbotts, or if she just thought she was better than Mamie because Mamie was the maid. But I just hate the way that they are using her right now.
Absolutely.
Against basically against Jill, who's we rarely see her on the show. When Jill was always the antagonist to her, and like I understand where Mamie is coming from for sure. Like I get her.
Yep, she's right to be bitter about Jill.
Yeah. Well, also I get her desire to want them to have control over their company. She wants to look out for her family, but I wish they would have had her do it another way so she didn't look so much like the petty bad guy, I guess, is what I'm saying. While Jill was looking like, smelling like roses in this whole thing and almost, I don't know.
Innocent. Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's not. She's not innocent. What gets me the most about this is that Mamie has not been around, and to all of a sudden demand to be the patriarch of the family and to belittle these three intelligent, grown people and to chide them like that. I mean, I really thought that was just completely unnecessary. On top of the fact that, the only reason Mamie has a bit in this company is because of the part that she bought into. She did not build any of this. She has no real skin in this game other than the fact that she bought her way in, which is fine. But we're talking about a multi-billion dollar conglomerate, and her investment couldn't have been more than, I mean, I said 50 million online, but I doubt it was even that much. It could have been 10. I don't know. They've never given a number. And so, but they did say it's not that much to be able to have this kind of say. And I don't know. I mean, Devon's got a lot of great accomplishments under his belt, and she just basically told him he was stupid and didn't know what he was doing.
Okay, so yeah, Bree and I talked a little bit about it on Wednesday when we did the midweek chat, and I think what it is with Mamie is that she see what's happening in the family dynamic, and especially, yeah, I mean, she came in dealing with Tucker on that. Victor sold her that share and everything to get her foot in the door. But I honestly think she's trying to keep the legacy in the family. And she's looking at them like, you trusting, Jill to do this, and you guys are not thinking, y'all not keeping and staying on top of everything that's happening, which, like Amaya Baker says in the chat, next week is Winter's week, and they're about to get blindsided on Monday. And this is where they should have listened to Mamie, because Jill pulled a big fast one on them without them knowing it. So I think that's where the warning was coming in. And with, and I don't know, there might be some people from Canada in there in the chat that may already know what it's about, but there's no cohesiveness over there. Everybody's talking on the side. They're not all saying, hey, because what happens on Monday, Jill should have had that conversation with everybody.
So, question: do you think that, because in my opinion, I don't think Jill would be doing what she's about to do if it wasn't for Mamie and her
Well,
interference.
And that's what I'm worried about is that they're gonna whatever Jill's getting ready to do,
it
they're
has
gonna
nothing to do with that at all, though.
It doesn't?
okay.
No,
Okay.
no.
Do we want a
And
spoiler? Do we want a spoiler?
do y'all want me to spoil it?
Do we
Now,
want a spoiler?
Bree,
Let's
I
do
think
it.
Bree already you know, right, Bree?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
do.
yeah, okay.
I mean, I vote for a spoiler. What do you think, Keish?
Okay, so what the deal is, and I'll put this out here, spoiler alert, because I know y'all want to know. Jill decided to step back and let Billy take her position without telling Lily, Devon, anybody.
Wow.
What is Jill's position? Is she the president?
She owns Chancellor.
So what do you mean Billy is taking her position if she's the owners?
She's the chairman of the board, isn't she?
She's still going to have her board seat according to Billy,
Uh-huh.
but everything that Jill would do, the decision making for Chancellor, the hires, the fires, that's what now in Billy's hands.
Wow.
So is he like the president or like what is his actual position?
He's taking Jill's job, or her. She's putting him in her position while she go tour the world, according to him. So,
Well, anyone want to cast your bets on how long he's going to be in that position? 1 month, 2 weeks.
well, you know what? I think where they're trying to go with this, I don't. They're trying to rewrite him for some reason because now all of a sudden he's so business savvy, and he always wanted the top seat. He knew he couldn't get it at Jabot as long as Jack is around, right?
Yeah.
So he saw an opportunity over at Chancellor, knowing that his mom was hardly ever there and she probably is close to retirement. Remember, she had that whole storyline about 4 or 5 years ago about undergoing heart surgery. So he knew that eventually she probably was going to step off. And sure enough, here we go. But the problem with that is that she should have had that meeting with all of them. You don't tell Billy take over my everything that I do and then have him go tell everybody.
That's so
At the very least,
disrespectful.
yeah, and at the very least, her CEO Lily.
Yeah.
So now at this point, just like Jill used to tell Lily what to do and had the answer, she had the answer to Jill. Well, now she got to answer to Billy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But see, Mamie tried to tell them, and see, this is now they're mad, and I think Tuesday's episode they're going to retaliate somehow. So we'll see what that's going to look like. But I know Mamie came. They had her come in sideways and sneaky and vindictive, but underneath all of that, I think she was just basically saying, "Y'all need to cover y'all butts and watch your back."
Yeah, it was her. It was the way she delivered the message.
Correct.
That made it to where they didn't want to hear anything she had to say.
Why would you listen to somebody that's just berated you like that? I wouldn't.
I didn't take it that way. I took it as this is Auntie trying to get a grip on her kids, on her living relatives, while she's still around to help them. And she's really, all she did was tell the truth. She did help Nate get into his job. Yes, Lily's being petty. And yes, Devon has the ability to be both Chancellor and Winters and has the money to try to take over things. All she did was just point out, like, look, this is what you need to do. You can say I'm the problem if you want to, but focus on the bigger picture because Jill and Billy seem to.
Well, and you know what? Somebody pointed something out online earlier. Tucker is not Philip Chancellor's son, right? It's Catherine's son from somebody else.
Right, that's Catherine Chancellor.
So then Devon is not a chancellor. He is he's not Philip Chancellor's son. So they pointed out that the actual only chancellor is Chance. And I didn't even put that together. This whole time.
Catherine completely left that boy out the will. She gave Devon all the ability.
Everything.
So whether he's related or not, she said he is a chancellor.
She did. But like y'all, this whole time I was completely forgetting that that Tucker, he's not Philip's kid.
Right.
It just blew me away. I read it. I was like, no, that's not. Wait a minute. Holy cow. Okay. Wow.
Yeah, this is about to get ugly. And this is about to get ugly. And I mean, here's the other thing. They also was saying, well, you're the one that's being messy, and you're the one that's bringing trouble here, and you're the one that's causing problems. So as much as that Mamie was throwing darts, so were they. So and that's why she got so offended at the end and walked out. But I know some folks are saying, nothing wrong with what Jill did, but you got what, a CEO, another owner that's part of the company, and herself. You need to meet with these people. You just can't tell your son and say, I'm out of here, take over where I left off, and then let him come back. And then he only tells Lily first. And then the other, Devon and Nate found out about it. Their communication was all jacked up.
And it's their fault.
Yep.
They allowed for Jill to literally walk all over them and graciously, the same way they allow Victor to whenever he has a chance to. They had this coming, and all Mamie did was like, look, y'all are idiots. Somebody has to keep it real with you. Somebody has to keep it real with you. If it's not me, then if you want to trust the wolves, then by all means. And she took her church wig and she left.
And that's the thing that Lily said, and I know we're tapping into the May 13th episode, but Lily was like, I can't believe Jill would do something like this and not tell me. Why not? Why not? So there you have it. And so, I know I kind of spoiled it a little bit, but when I saw that episode, all I could do was laugh because she tried to tell you.
Yeah. And Lily looks like an idiot.
They all look like idiots, honestly.
But Lily looks the worst because Lily wanted to pursue a lawsuit that Billy said was unnecessary. She already told him that she doesn't trust him. She's already kind of let known that she doesn't trust Devon either. She's gave this man all of this ammo, and now her job is literally in that man's hands.
Correct.
Yep.
Because she don't work for Devon. She works for Jill.
Yep. And she's stressed about how much she wanted this merger to come together. I bet not now.
Mm-hmm. So, child, it's going to be crazy next week. I'm telling you, they knocked it out the park with the sweeps this month. I got to give it to them, compared to the last couple of sweeps. Oh, my goodness. So, yeah, that's pretty much what we have with that. But I will say in that same meeting when Lily was saying that she even thinks that she can't trust Devon because he might have an agenda of his own. I'm like, oh my God. The cracks are forming in the family as well.
They have been for years.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like with the start of this whole merger talk that Devon was never really on board with, it's like they've just never been on the same page from that moment. I can't really remember much before that, but especially with the merger, it's like they just haven't been on the same page.
Nope.
And they got the Winters family looking like idiots right now.
It looks bad. It looks bad.
Melissa Spencer said, "Does this mean Billy can fire Lily now?"
Absolutely.
Yeah. Wants to.
Yep.
And TA said the writers have sabotaged the Winters empire.
Yep.
That is true.
And see, what really gets me about this is there was interviews from production about a month and a half ago talking about, we're going to see a new side to Lily. No, you're making her look like an idiot.
Yeah.
So stop it. Because I was like, well, what are they going to do? And so they had this whole thing, of course, with Daniel and her being like, oh, I'm not giving you your little game back and all this stuff. And now here we are with this. And yeah, Billy could pretty much say, you know what, I'm removing you as CEO and I'm going to put Chance in there.
And on top of that, he could also settle with Heather and Daniel.
Yep.
And that would really work Lily's nerve. Ooh, Lily,
Yeah.
she's just an employee.
I don't know if you can
at it.
override that though, because when they were talking about that with Jill,
They voted. Yep.
Yeah. So I don't think he could just decide to settle.
Well, all he could do is just remove her out of that position. If she got so obstinate and say, I'm not going to do it. If he tells her, I'm going to need you to back down, we need to settle. And she says, well, hey, I voted not to. I'm not doing it. He could easily say, well, you work for me and I'm going to remove you out of that position and we'll get it done the way we want to get it done.
But he can't remove her from the board game.
I don't know about that, but out of that position, he could.
Yeah. But if she's still on the board, she still has a vote, right?
I think so. Well, here's the thing, because I saw some spoilers for later in the week. Abby is going to be right smack dab in the middle of this whole thing, and so her loyalties are going to be tested. So I'm wondering if maybe Billy is going to ask Abby to side with him because she's an Abbott. I don't know. That's going to be interesting. And if she does side with Billy, where does that leave her and Devon? Because they're not even married yet, are they? They just...
Nope.
Yeah. Okay.
When's the last time we had a love scene? Was it last
year? Probably last year. I haven't... Yeah, last year I think it was. Alright. Let us move on unless y'all got anything else left with the Winters.
No, I'm ready for Monday.
I know, right? Oh my goodness. Alright, so now let's get Ashley out the way because her alters are still fighting each other. She switched, Miss Abbott took over and she told Alan to leave, and then Belle took back the position and she wanted him to stay. That girl, Belle wants a piece of Alan. Real bad.
The Belle just wants a piece. Whoever can give it to her. She's close in proximity.
Oh my God. I mean, she is killing this role. Eileen is cutting up with going back and forth with these alters.
I love it as well. Like it's so entertaining, and I love Mrs. Abbott. I've been trying to pick like my favorites. I love Mrs. Abbott, and Belle is becoming a second favorite, and I can't forget the other two.
Ash
is okay because she's just, I don't know, she was just funny, but Mrs. Abbott, I wish they just kept her around with the same personality, just trashing everybody, but. The way she handled the doctor at first, I was like, oh, like, girl, come on. Like, you need a man. There's no other man in Genoa City. Come on. Belle was looking out for you. But I love when Belle takes over and she's very sure of herself. You get to see that fun, flirty side to her.
Mm-hmm.
And I can definitely see that Tucker took a liking to it to some degree because he chose to entertain that.
Mm-hmm.
And I love Eileen. She's really killing this role.
Yes, she is. What do you got, Trish, on that?
I think it's so funny the way she flipped and he's looking at her like, what is happening here?
Mm-hmm. Now, go ahead. I'm sorry, Trish. Finish.
Oh, no, it's just that flirty, and then all of a sudden, just like, you know, the Inquisitioner during a war, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Speak. Don't speak. I mean, it's like, wow, man, that's a different woman in there. They're crazy.
Oh man, you got anything on it, Keish?
I'm just still entertaining.
Yeah, I agree. Let me ask you guys something. After the whole flirty interaction when Belle was in the position the first time with Alan, did it seem like he was kind of sort of interested? Because the next day, he was like, well, hey, you know, I thought you wanted to meet up with me. And, you know, I'm like, wait a minute, Alan, you You were interested? Or was he just playing along with the alters?
I feel like he was just playing along because he's just trying to observe her and try to figure out what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess in order to not like make her feel like he's just there to watch her,
Mm-hmm.
I think he just kind of plays into it a little bit.
Right. J Money, Mrs. Abbott was the one that told Alan that he needs to leave town. And Belle was the one that had the little bow in her hair, and she got real flirty. That's Belle.
Mrs. Abbott's right there in the center.
Right.
Jenny.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. I love that spread screenshot because that could be like meme for a whole lot of different things.
I know, right?
Because that's my expression to some of the storylines, how Victoria was acting, how Finn was acting. That's my clear expression this whole week.
That's a funny one. Go ahead.
But why is Tucker still entertaining this?
Oh, did you see that when he was talking to Belle? He's standing up there looking like, oh, who is she talking to?
Mm-hmm. And I'm like, why is he entertaining this?
Mm-hmm.
If he's done, leave it alone. My goodness, people just can't leave people alone.
Girl, I don't think he's done. That's why I think he's really overcompensating with Audra. You know, I don't think he's done. He know he can't get Ashley. Everybody's keeping him away, and he feels sorry for her because of the condition that she's in. But if he didn't care, like you just said, he would have just saw them and kept on walking. He didn't have to come over there and say, "So, who are you?"
Right.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't be asking Abby, has she talked to her mom or checked on her mom or whatever. Like,
oh, right. I forgot about that.
I'm actually
because it's like, are you really getting mad that he's asking and showing concern for your mother? And then she doesn't seem, like we've been saying, she clearly doesn't realize the severity of the situation.
So let me ask you this question, because and I don't know, I think maybe Bree, you might have brought this up on Wednesday. Do you think, you guys, that she is just not attentive and she's part of the fault of her not knowing, besides Jack and Tracy not telling her?
I think so. Like, you need to talk. I think I just said this on Wednesday. She needs to make the effort to spend time with her mother, check in on her mother. And I think Ashley's alters really pointed that out. Like, hey, my daughter is selfish. She's spoiled. I don't think that was a lie. And clearly, like, we haven't seen her have any interactions with her mother. Last week we saw Belle at her restaurant, and Abby was like, okay, and just carried on. And then it's just very bizarre how wrapped up Abby chooses to, put herself in certain situations, but never her family, really, especially her mom, except she kind of chooses to get the information at the very end sometimes.
Yeah, and then she got the nerve to get mad. Oh, he's just trying to figure out a way to what is up with him? He's always up to something. He's telling you, right, he's saying, go check on your mom. Something ain't right. If you don't know, you need to go find out. And then Devon is like, oh, yeah, he's always trying. I'm like, Devon, shut up.
Yeah.
Just shut up. I mean, obviously, you need to go and see about your mama. And I still kind of, on the other hand, fault Jack and Tracy for not telling her too. You know what I mean?
I agree. And plus, I feel Abby would have dedicated time to her mom, making sure she went to her treatments, tried to find doctors, unless they really feel that this girl is just that dumb and can't even handle that, I guess. So they choose to leave her out.
Yeah, I don't even think she realizes that her mom is supposed to be in treatment. I feel like she doesn't even know that much.
Yeah, I still, we've been talking about this for the last month, on when her alters have really started coming to the surface full force. Why haven't they told her daughter about what's going on. The girl was having blackouts. She didn't know where she was. All types of stuff. And you don't tell her daughter.
And you know what irked me is after Tucker told her that, they went to that meeting with Mamie instead of her going to go check on her mom.
Exactly.
That's her priorities.
Yeah.
That's Abby's priorities.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that. I'm glad you brought that up. I forgot. That was what, Tuesday or Wednesday? I think it was. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah, it's Amaya says Abby is an afterthought always.
Pretty much.
I guess Devon too, because he even worried about trying to hit it since last year.
I know, right? Good grief. All right, y'all got anything else on that part of the storyline? We can keep it moving. So let's talk about Victor and Jordan. Jordan, he told her to chug a lug until she croaked. And she actually gave in and drank that whole bottle. I was like, wow, I guess. But Victor actually wants to use her against Jack. He's going too far. Do you think that why do you think okay. Do you think he's upset because of Jack and them pills, or is he kind of sort of low-key jealous that he went to that extent for his wife and his wife is now getting help? Kind of like jealous a little bit is I guess what I'm saying. Go ahead, Keish.
I think was it Nick? I can't remember who it was, but someone said something like that, to where they felt like he was so upset with Jack because Jack was the one that ultimately got her to go to rehab. It was done in a ridiculous, stupid way. Like, I don't agree with how he did it, but Jack and Victor, was saying, well, he almost killed your mother, and it's like, actually, when Jack did that, no, he got her to, I guess, kind of sober herself up because she had to help. And then that's when she decided to go into rehab. So he didn't almost kill her; he almost killed himself for her. So I do think that maybe deep down it's because Jack was the one that finally got her to go to rehab, and it wasn't him. But then he also kind of acts like he's upset that she's at rehab because he's not with her, or because she's not with him for him to be able to, I guess, try to control her. And it's like, that's the best place for her to be. Like, why is Nick trying to convince you that her going to rehab was a good idea? That's where she should have been all this time. And that's why he was part of the problem, was because he didn't want to admit that she needed to be in a rehabilitation facility. He wanted her to just stay after rent so he could have eyes on her all the time.
Yeah, and she was hiding bottles all over the house.
Right.
So even if she was stuck in the house, she was still finding ways to get a drink.
And he wasn't recognizing it.
Oh yeah, Delmonica just dropped this in the chat. So in Jordan's cell, were there actual spiders or was it imaginary spiders? Because some people were saying they were imaginary.
Oh, I don't know.
She could have been drunk. She could have been delusion. Because it's probably been like a few days since she's been in that cell, whatever that thing is. So she's probably imagining, bunnies and sheep and anything she can think of to keep her occupied. So I can only imagine. I had a lot of mixed thoughts. I'm like, why is Victor keeping her? Because, if the whole goal was to get rid of Jordan, get rid of her. Just like you got rid of all your other people, like Ash and Locke. Get rid of her if that's the case. And at first I was like, okay, I'm like, these two clearly slept together. There's just no way for all this effort. That's how it felt to me. But the fact that he wants to keep her around as basically a weapon to do this to Jack, and Nikki was the main one who chose Jack. Granted, Jack had a choice, and I can't wait to get on his behind later on in this podcast. But Jack made a choice, but Nikki also made choices to drink on her own, to hide drinking, to take sips here and there, to lie. She made those choices. He can't put that all on Jack. And on top of that, Victor had the finances, the resources to get her into a facility, or at least have a private eye, a camera, something to watch and get a hold of his wife. So it never came to that point. But he chose to do other things.
Yep. What you got, Trish?
No, it's absolutely true. I mean, I agree with everything you just said. This whole thing is just no. I mean, and two, we did this before. You know, it's been a long time, and I don't know. I mean, nobody else knows, so he is now her maid, and her jailer, and her food deliverer, and her water dispenser.
My question is there a toilet in that little cell?
That's what I was going to say. Who's going to clean her mess up?
My question is, why does Victor have a jail cell on his property?
From what I understand, that jail cell supposed to have went back. It's part of a storyline from like 40 years ago or something. Yeah, and they brought it to the forefront because he had something built for a different reason. I forgot what it was. But yeah, I could understand why you would ask that question, because why is that in your house?
That's some freakiness as far as I'm concerned. Like, what do you have a dungeon in your house for that your wife don't know about?
But I agree. Was that was either who? I think that was Trista that said that the money and the resources, you have that to put that woman in a rehab facility. Victoria said it one time, because I know we have been talking about it on this live chat for the last 4 or 5 months, right? She said it one time, maybe she needs a rehab, and they shot it down. Victor could have been done that.
Several times over. Sorry. Oh no, go ahead. Okay.
Go ahead, Trish.
Just gonna say she would have already been home.
Yep. But here's the other thing. Oh, sorry, Trish. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I just was being sarcastic, saying she'd be having a ginger ale.
I know, right? The other thing is that they also, both Jack and Victor, has to take the accountability that they let her call the shots. She even admitted to that when she was drunk. She's been manipulating both of them to get what she wants. Because Jack is so nice. Oh, whatever you want. We're going to just go to a meeting. And Victor is just like, he'll get mad at her. But then when she say, I'm just doing this for my sobriety, then he'll back off.
My baby.
Yeah,
You're right.
I hate when he says that.
I do too.
Yeah, so, it's like, dude, you need to take some accountability. Being mad at Jack and trying to sick Jordan on Jack does nothing.
Well, and usually when you're pointing your finger at somebody, there's 3 fingers pointing back at yourself.
Hey, look at that picture on the screen there.
Yep.
Because 3 of them are definitely pointing right back at him while he's pointing at Jack. I can't believe he told Jack that he would have left him on that floor to die. I'm like, God.
Returning the favor.
Yeah, that's true. There's no but wouldn't you want him to be the better person?
I like the fact that they had... But I agree. Trish, I liked when Jack and Victor had this truce.
Yeah, I did too. It was a nice camaraderie, and it was a break from, the testosterone getting thrown all over the screen.
I mean, they had been fighting for decades, and then they finally had a long truce where they were nice to each other. They share family members, grandchildren together, because of the intermingling or whatever. And so it's like, now you wish the man was dead? I mean, y'all too old for this. Come on now.
Right.
I will say Jack was really foolish at the restaurant. What's it called? Society. He should have read the room. Victor saw him, but kept it moving, went to the bar. Why is Jack asking about this married woman still?
Yep.
Someone, I don't know. He, in his head, he's still thinking, I'm her sponsor. I should know. Remember, he said that to Victor. I'm asking because I am her sponsor. Dude, you need to take several seats and step back.
You're fired.
I mean, seriously. It's like your whole family, which we'll get into that storyline next. Your whole family, I don't say your whole family, but his wife is imploding right now because of the decisions that you made. I mean, it's so much drama going on over at the Abbott house. Nikki should not even be on your radar right now.
Right. Oh, you went directly to the husband and asked about his wife and tried to kind of guilt trip him and try to say like, hey, I did it, but at least she went. I mean, that's what matters, right? Like, right. There's no way to butter up this situation. It's only making it worse. And he knows how vindictive Victor is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He of all people.
Mm-hmm. And go ahead. Go ahead, Keish.
I don't feel like it's a matter of her being a married woman because Jack and Nikki are friends. I think it was stupid for him to say, I'm her sponsor. He should have just said, she's my friend. I'm concerned. I just want to know. But overall, he definitely shouldn't have approached Victor, not after the way things went down. He should have just let that go.
Bree said it right. He should have read the room. That dude walked right past you without saying hello. And you said, oh, I'm going to go over here and ask about his wife because I'm her sponsor. Dude, again, take several seats.
He would have been better off asking Nick.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, when you said that about Diane saying the not caring about their relationship and everything, I wanted him to say, or about Nikki, why for Nikki? Well, Nikki's been a constant, Diane.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been a really great throwaway line.
Oh, I got a few words for Miss Thang.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a few words for Miss Thang. I'm sorry. I'm partly on. I'm 50-50 when it comes to her on this situation.
Yeah, I get you.
What?
I'm like.
Yeah, I was rooting for Diane for the last year. And Jenna and Trish was like, oh, she up to something. She's up to something.
I still think she is, but I'm on the side with Jack.
Yeah, well, we'll get there in a second. I want to finish up what's going on over the Newman house. So let's talk about Claire and Summer and Victoria. Mm-hmm. Keith's like, mm-hmm.
Y'all, is there just a weird look on Claire's face all the time now? That smile where she's kind of dead in the eyes with that kind of barely there smile where it's like, I'm in society and I need to look smiley. And I feel like she's like Stepford Claire right now.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's stuck in the Disney Channel era. She knows she's a grown woman and she doesn't understand why her family is still treating her like a little girl.
Yep. Okay, is that it? Because I'm trying to figure out what is this look on her face?
Yeah, that whole thing is just so crazy to me. I mean, well, it was interesting how Summer was pretty much losing it, and I know you guys are looking at it as, it's too soon. She have the right not to trust her and feel the way she tried to take out her entire family, which is true. But there's also a part of me that think there's some jealousy here, in my opinion. So I don't know. I mean, I've been seeing that in my comment section as well about whether or not, Summer is part of this is also included. Because she keeps shifting. At first, it was because of what happened with her family. And then when she found out that she was kidnapped by Jordan, then she says, well, I don't want her around Harrison because it's going to remind him of the situation. Okay.
I think it's all of it.
I mean, yeah, and it could be, but it's just, I don't know. It's just like, she's just spazzy about it.
Well, I mean, the kid she's been raising and calling a son for all this time was kidnapped. I'd be a little frazzled myself.
Well, she's about to be vetoed by next Friday.
Yeah, that's going to be.
So that's going to be crazy. Oh my God. What do you guys have on that?
I I saw a lot of stuff, and then we talked about in the group chats and stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
I do not like the way that people are coming after Summer. I'll probably be the minority because, like, she's not on anybody's time frame to worry about forgiving somebody when everyone else has. She does not owe Claire anything, to be honest. And she was one of the very last few people to know about what happened with Claire. And if that's still fresh for Summer, people kind of need to once again read the room and just let that be. And it really pissed me off when I would watch Victoria either strong arm Kyle and then go to her daddy to try to bully her granddaughter into liking Claire and accepting Claire.
Yes. Yeah.
That's exactly the reason why she went to her daddy, because she wasn't getting anywhere with Kyle, with Summer, with anybody. So she had no choice but to go to the man who's going to strong arm Summer, which isn't right. Which once again shows that, well, the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. At least we know where she gets her vindictiveness and her treacherousness from you.
Yeah, well, the thing is, Victor don't even want her over there either.
For different reasons.
Yeah. So they both, Summer don't want Harrison over there for one reason, and then Victor don't want Claire over there for his reasons.
Yeah.
Cause
I
it,
just
mm-hmm,
I
go
don't
ahead.
understand why they're trying to force this whole thing between Claire and Summer and Harrison. Like,
It's annoying.
there's a million other families, I'm sure, in that town that would want a nanny, or she can go find a daycare to work at. Like, why are they forcing the issue with Harrison? It almost feels like at this point, Victoria just wants to do it to piss off Summer because Summer doesn't like her daughter.
That's what I thought.
And for her to, when they were in the park, when they were getting ready to leave, and Victoria's like, stops at Kyle and was like, think about what we talked about. It's like, how disrespectful was that to Summer? How disrespectful was that to do to your own niece, who you know is not comfortable with her being around, with Harrison being around Claire right now, and you're completely disregarding her role in Harrison's life and going straight to his father because I'm assuming because she knows that Kyle is going to have more say over Harrison than Summer, because Summer doesn't have any legal rights to him. Mm-hmm. And to say that in front of her, think about what we talked about, and then walk away. Yeah. Like, just totally disregarding Summer altogether. To me, that was nasty.
It was nasty. And you know what? I think that Summer gets treated that way by both Victoria and Abby because she's Phyllis's daughter with Nick. Yeah. And they've always, it's always been preferential treatment against, for the others. And Summer has always been disregarded. Look what Abby did to her. And Abby got off scot-free. Yep. And then everybody's blaming Summer. That wasn't Summer's fault. And now this is not Summer's fault either. And she's getting just thrown under a bus again. And she can't trust either one of her aunts. Yeah. I mean, how in the world you're not able to trust either one of your aunts?
Yeah. And not to mention Mariah had her redemption, and she's Sharon's daughter. So right. they have no problem welcoming Mariah, even though she had no problem scheming and working for Victor and terrorizing the family too. But she's welcomed with open arms. Yep. No one can sit here and say that Summer even equate to doing that.
No.
But once again, because it's Phyllis's daughter.
Exactly. Exactly. And I mean, Summer's the one who was almost taken out of this life by that psychopath, and Phyllis just had, recollected that story with Nick, and I'm sitting there going, yeah, and Summer was just an adorable little girl. She was a cute young teen. It wasn't until she came back that she was off the rails. They completely changed her character. And so, I don't know. The whole thing is just,
so let me ask you guys a question, because the conversation that Phyllis had with Summer over at the GCAC, Phyllis was actually saying, hey, the girl was a victim too, and so she got so mad that her mom even saying, whose side are you taking? And so it's like, as much as she don't want to push herself to accept Claire, why are you trying to force people not to accept her? You can have your feelings, but can everybody else have theirs too?
I think everyone's been voicing their opinions and then trying to force her to sway that direction. And she's like, look, this is the information I got from you guys late to the party. And now I'm trying to process and absorb it. I'm not an easily forgiving person, in which she has every right to feel that way. So if Victoria
Right.
wants to forgive her, even though not knowing this girl for no longer than 6 months, and that's her, she shouldn't force that, or no one should force that on Summer at all.
Right, I
She,
agree with you. That's what I'm saying. But she tried to force that on her mother to go on her side. So, I mean, if just say Phyllis is like, well, look, I don't see anything wrong with it. Because for a while, Phyllis was looking at her with a side eye at that table as she was talking about all this stuff until Summer got so upset and said, how are you taking her side? And she started, of course, getting really emotional about it. And then Phyllis flipped. So it's like you don't want nobody to change your thoughts on Claire, but you want people to change their thoughts on Claire for you.
I didn't see it as her trying to make her change her thoughts. I just saw it as her being frustrated that how can y'all not see this? She just
right.
couldn't take out the whole family. I just saw it as frustration, but that's just me.
Gotcha.
I
And
see
it
what
wasn't
you're saying.
still after what was it that Summer? There was something that Summer told her that had Phyllis change her mind. It wasn't that
It was
Phyllis just
about the whole nanny situation.
yeah. So it wasn't to me. It wasn't that Phyllis just changed her mind because Summer flipped out. It was Phyllis agreeing with her that um, Claire being Harrison's nanny was that was too far. I don't think that she. So to me, here's the difference is this is about Harrison and it's not about Summer having a relationship with Claire. Her concern is people wanting Claire to be Harrison's nanny, people wanting um, Claire to spend time with Harrison, and that's what she doesn't want. I don't think she gives two craps about people liking Claire. I don't. She probably doesn't care if Kyle and Claire want to go hang out, as long as he's not
Exactly.
dragging Harrison along with him. So
Well,
that's how I took it. I didn't take it as her trying to force her mom to be on her side, and not like Claire. It was Phyllis agreeing, like, yeah, the nanny thing, that's a little too far, which it is. Like, why are you guys so pressed and pushing so hard for Claire to be his nanny?
well, she gonna be even more mad when she find out that Victor want her to work at Victoria's assistant at Newman Enterprises. He trying to give her a whole job at the corporate office.
I mean, she already worked there. Plus, who's working Newman Media at this
But that
point?
was before they knew what she was up to. Now with Summer now knowing what happened, is she going to be okay with that too, or is she going to have a problem with that as well?
Well, she can't really say anything regarding being an assistant. That's the whole thing. She has every right to say, like, hey, I don't want this woman around my child. And I saw the stuff online. It really got to me because I'm like, the father said that that's the mother of his child.
Yeah.
They equally share parental rights, whether it's paperwork or not. They equally share those rights. The father says that woman can dictate and say where my child goes or who comes into their life. They even had an agreement. Otherwise, Kyle would have said, hey, Claire is my nanny for my son.
Right.
Well, and I think that's why there was speculation, and I don't want to call it a spoiler, because of the fact that there was nothing of any legal representation for her, not representation, but any legalities or paperwork to show that she has any form of custody, which is why that goes into this whole storyline at the end of the sweeps month, where this whole thing where Kyle is vetoing everything in regards to the situation so he's going to make the executive decision. So I have a feeling that they're going somewhere with this, and of course if they do that, it's because we're in the middle of sweeps month. They want to shock everybody. And and everybody, most of the bloggers are talking about the fact that she does not have any, because Tara never signed over her rights as his parent. So
That would be so disrespectful of Kyle.
That really would.
I
That
mean,
would
it would be,
really.
but I mean, we talking about soaps and sweeps month. Victor wants Jack dead on the floor. So, I mean, it doesn't surprise me that they would do something like this, for shock value. Just like it would get under you guys' skin.
Oh, there's so much under my skin right now. I mean, that's psycho. No, I'll wait. I'll wait.
Oh, are you still talking about? Wait a minute, which one, Diane or Sheila?
I swear I'll wait.
Oh my gosh, girl, you so crazy. But I do understand where you're coming from because Summer is the mother that Harrison knows from this long period of time since his bio mom has been gone in prison, right? So I get what you guys are saying. But it wouldn't surprise me if Josh Griffith took us down that rabbit hole.
Yeah.
I will gladly roast Kyle if he did that because that woman had made a choice to be a mother to that boy and loves it. And there's a lot of trash families. Here's a woman who actually loves this boy. You want to wants to take the kid away from her?
Yeah.
That would be very trash of him.
Yeah, it would.
So I think they should have probably what they should have did when they were married all these years. They should have did something where I mean, even with Hope, and I'm not finna open that door for you, Trish, to talk about Sheila.
I'll wait.
Talk
That's where I
about
get the
Bo.
word.
But even with Hope, not even being in a relationship at that point with Thomas, she still realized that in order to be the mom, she needs some paperwork.
Yep.
And I think that's where they dropped the ball between that couple. And I mean, Hunter, were they married when Hunter was there, Hunter King? They were married before she switched out, right? Or no?
Yeah, they got married when they were in Italy, I think.
Okay, and so when Kyle and the two of them went off for a while, and then they brought Kyle back, and then, of course, the new Summer, Allison Lanier. Somewhere along the line, they should have added that in there that, hey, I'm your legal mother, or maybe sign the rights over. But they never did, so I guess they're looking at this as an opportunity. But this is going to get real ugly because at the end of the day, it's going to hurt Harrison.
Yep.
If she's not allowed to, be around. Because what if he do get involved in a relationship with Claire? What's that going to look like?
Yeah, I feel like they purposely
Excuse me.
had to where Tara gave up her rights so Summer could adopt him to leave that door open for Tara to come back.
Right.
Well, yeah, because Summer is Phyllis's daughter, so we have to make sure to hurt Summer.
Right.
Yeah, because I mean, listen, Phyllis see herself as a full-fledged grandmother to that boy too.
Yeah.
Remember, who was that? Was that Bree? She made the whole comment about how Harrison made her a grandma.
Oh, and she was 20 years into the game already.
Exactly.
Yes. She lost her mind.
Victor and Nikki as well. They also look at Harrison as their great grandchild.
Who?
Like that whole family has basically embraced Harrison.
Who are you talking about? You talking about Newmans?
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, Newmans.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Nikki was like, our Harrison. Like, what? You didn't care about this boy.
But you know what that means because, listen, Victor is already declaring war against Jack Abbott. Now, with this situation happening, if Kyle decides to do that, that's a whole nother war that could start against the Newmans because Victor is like, you going to do what?
He wouldn't have a leg to stand on now.
It's going to be crazy, to say the least. So, and yeah, this whole thing with Victoria is like, I ain't ready to go back to work. And I ain't trying to have her as my assistant either. He was mad.
Also, how trash would it be of Victoria knowing that she basically orchestrated this whole drama between Kyle and Summer when it comes to Harrison and Claire, to sit back and watch that happen?
All because she couldn't get her way because somebody didn't accept her child, even though she will never accept her brother Adam.
Right.
Yep.
Yep. She can't stand Adam. I think they only had one good moment, and that was that moment in March or April when Victoria found out about Connor going off to the hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was
You
it.
know what? I would love it if Summer threw that in her face the next time that she says something to her about her attitude towards Claire.
She needs to. I'm waiting for her to do that, or at least Nick getting in Victoria's face, like, look, you're not gonna come to my child with this. You need to learn your place and let them figure it out.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Same way he gets in Adam's face, get in Victoria's face.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
The day that you accept Adam as your brother and start treating him good is the day that I'll treat Claire with respect.
Bingo.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Yep. All right, we got to hit the Abbotts now because, oof, like I say, I'm 50-50 on Diane.
Man, y'all.
Okay, so here's my theory, and I know some of you guys probably heard some of my thoughts in my recap today and yesterday. I get it. She's upset. He went through the lengths that he did to almost unalive himself for his ex. And he was missing all night and all of that. I get why she's pissed. But she also want, and I know that you, Bree, you and I, we kind of touched on this a bit because I think your perception of what she should do next is different from mine. Um, my thing is that I think they should work it out because they worked out a whole lot of stuff with her when she decided to go missing. He was missing for a night. You were missing for 15 years.
Bingo. That too. There's that too. Yes.
I mean, seriously, your son grew up without a mother because you decided to hide out in LA thanks to Deacon Sharp. And then you come back with all this drama. Jeremy Stark follows you to town. Of course, Phyllis helped him get there. But they went through a whole mess, and now you part of the Abbott family. You didn't marry the Abbott man. You didn't even moved up from being a realtor to now you the co-CEO of Jabot. Come on now, ma'am. I mean, seriously, you talking about, and it was bad what he did, but what about you too, sweetheart? So, for I was looking for that redemption and all, and I was kind of like going up against Trish and Jenna. But I'm like, girlfriend, if you don't take several seats and think about that and figure that out.
It's like there is another shoe that's going to drop with her, but the way she talked to Jack about what he did, I really, I was on her side because how in the world can you think it's okay to undo your own sobriety?
Right. I agree with you on that.
I mean, that goes against every single thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that's what I felt like she was most upset with him about. It wasn't him necessarily that he was gone all night and she had no idea, where he was. It was the fact that he jeopardized his sobriety or ruined his sobriety for the sake of trying to get Nikki in rehab. I don't care if it was Kyle that he was trying to help get into rehab. Taking pills and overdosing to prove a point is stupid.
It was.
I think that's what she was pissed off at more than anything because he literally risked his life. Nikki had to call the ambulance for him to revive him.
Yeah, I agree. But I know. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say, so I'm definitely on Diane's side on this one.
What about you, Bree? I know you had some stuff to say Wednesday, or
Yeah, and after watching Thursday and Friday's episode, it still won't change. I'm on her side. She was speaking nothing but truth to that man, to both Kyle and Jack. I was getting really upset with Kyle because I'm like, you're kind of not seeing her side.
Right.
Like she's upset because she made a very valid point. They could be planning a funeral. And then the head of the company would also be gone, so that could affect things too. Not to mention how that also could affect Ashley, who's going through a mental. Like there's so many different things, and he gave all of that up for a whole other person. Yes, I understand they're friends. Okay, that's fine. But he didn't need to go to those extremes. He's another man with money and resources and things that could have helped Nikki versus him putting himself in a position to where it affects his health. And on top of that, for months, he's been ignoring his wife.
Yeah.
There's
Mm-hmm.
all this stuff going on at work, and he doesn't want to help her out with that stuff going on with Ashley. He can never be found because he's always with Nikki. So if it were me, I agree with her. Leave. Not say divorce, but definitely leave. And it's really best for him to kind of do what he can because this woman didn't sign no prenup.
Nana says Diane can be mad about what Jack done, but her move out move is the start of her taking apart Jabot and Jack's fortune with no prenup agreement in place. Diane don't fool anyone.
But that's his fault. We've warned him all. We've warned Jenna, Trish, y'all warned him.
We did.
Well, here's the other thing, though. She's saying that she would her, because I mean, obviously he loved his wife, according to him. With her moving out, could that push him? Because she was like, if I'm around you, could I trigger you? Do you think leaving could possibly trigger him too?
Possibly, but that's not her fault. That's not fair to her to put that on her and say, well, I relapsed again because you left me. Well, no, you relapsed again because you took those pills in the first place that got your cravings going again, and then as a result of that, you decided to take more pills because I can't trust you to not do anything stupid. I don't want to be in the house with you right now because you make stupid decisions.
Yep.
He makes stupid decisions, and on top of that, this man says that he's in full control, but you still had access to your old dealer who happened to be Kyle's friend.
Yeah.
That is just like, Jack.
Why didn't you delete that number?
Like, he just happened to have it ready. And if they go down like a storyline with Jack saying, hey, like he's like, while Nikki was struggling, Jack was struggling with his, and he was, trying to avoid pills or avoid this or avoid that, but he wanted to persevere and help Nikki. I would be okay if they wrote it like that, but Victor and Jack look terrible right now as the patriarchs of their families. Like, I can't even take them seriously, but Jack most of all, because it's like, you had a chance to walk away from the situation and let Victor tend to his wife.
Yeah. What do y'all think about the conversation between Diane and Phyllis?
I saw, like, in the comments, I can't see a friendship with these two ever. I can see, like, nice, nasty, kind of like what Ashley and Diane keep doing.
Mm-hmm.
But that's as far as it goes. But I don't know.
Yeah,
it was nice to see them not fight over each other.
Well, here's the thing. It's so funny that the spoilers saying that they were going to have this big explosive blow up or whatever. And it technically seemed like a mild conversation because she was telling her, because I was like, what are they going to be fighting about? And I thought maybe Phyllis had found out about the pills and was trying to blame Diane or something. It was about Claire. And, her trying to, convince Diane to talk to Kyle about Claire. And they both agreed that they don't want him to be the nanny. I mean, want her to be his nanny. And so, I mean, it wasn't that big of a blow up to me. So,
Yeah.
guess they overhyped that one. So.
They've overhyped a lot of spoilers, and there's some stuff that's like never happened, especially on B&B. But I know, I guess to keep the viewers interested, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God. Jenna said Diane married Jack. She signed on for this, all of it, till death do us part. Diane can go. What go is what she say? I can't see behind that. Diane.
Diane can go to the board on
Oh, on Jack. Yeah. Oh, that's Delmonica. Yeah. Okay. I mean, she's in prime position if she want to get Jack. Cause she co-CEO. She could say he unfit
Yep.
to make decisions. She don't have to technically be in the Abbott house. She can go find on. Who knows? I'm wondering if this is where they twist her. Instead of making her look like a villain in this situation, they're gonna make it look like it is his fault, and then she now do what she normally does. You know what I'm
And
saying? Does that sound about right, Trish?
That sounds about right.
and her and Kyle are kind of like at odds when it comes to work.
Yep.
And
But
she'll fire Ashley for the personality issues, and then she'll be the only Abbott there, and she's not even an Abbott.
But you know what the crazy thing is that okay, so Diane is not happy with Kyle because she thinks Kyle is undermining her job.
Mm-hmm.
And then Kyle tells Jack, Jack agrees with Diane, saying, "Yeah, you're probably jealous that you didn't get the CEO position." It's just they got way too much going on in that Abbott house. I think the only sane one in there is Tracy. And she's trying to balance all of it.
Well, I don't even think she's saying it's just Miss Martinez.
Here, well, no, I can't even say Harrison's saying.
Yeah, he just got kidnapped.
You want to be BFS with Claire.
What?
or maybe it's actually Billy because he's actually coming up in the world.
But he's not over at the Abbott house. You hardly ever see him over there. Last time we saw him was when they tried to do an intervention with Ashley, but he don't hang out over there that much. He's busy trying to take down the Winters family. So, that's gonna be crazy next week. Oh my goodness. All right, did we cover everything? Anybody miss anything?
So we did talk about Adam and what was Adam had scenes this week. Adam and Chelsea and Bill.
Oh yeah, cause of Connor.
Yeah, I can't remember why they went over to his apartment though.
Oh, because she said that she wants to actually go see her child finally.
Well, it gets bad on Monday.
Yikes.
He worse than what they thought. Y'all want me to spoil that one too?
You know I don't care about spoilers.
Go ahead.
So they go there to find out that he's been beating himself.
BT?
Yeah, so all the bruises on his body is because he's been hitting himself.
Alright.
Yeah, it gets.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's bad.
I hate this.
And then they're threatening him to take him out of that facility and put him in some isolation inpatient facility.
Oh no. I'm getting my child with me.
Well, here's the interesting thing. Chelsea is now saying maybe we should look for something else. And then now Adam is reverting, saying, no, you were right. Let's keep him there. Yeah. I'm wondering, because I remember a lot of folks were speculating about a month ago whether this is some type of cult type place. Because they don't understand, because they really didn't even get to see him. The people told them that he was beating himself. And then now they want to ship him off to some place where they can isolate him from the world where nobody, not even his doctors, can see him. So I'm wondering where this storyline is going.
Adam and Chelsea want to do that, or the
facility that he's the school or whatever is he in. They want to, they're trying to work with him, but they're telling them that they might have to send him off to this inpatient facility where he's isolated.
Yikes.
Yeah, it's getting bad. So I don't know where they're going with this. I don't know if these folks are they writing a storyline where these kids are being, I don't know, in a cult or something. I hope that's not the case, but yeah.
Isolating the child from the people that love him and the people that he loves, that never sounds like a smart idea.
Yeah, it isn't really, especially when they're at their lowest. You need your parents and your family around them. So, and then they're trying to tell them that it's their fault. So I don't know. I think something's up with this place of where they're trying to take this to.
I think it's one of those. I think it's going to be a story that's going to be similar to like what Paris Hilton wrote in her memoir. I think they may be doing something like that. I don't know.
It's possible. Sometimes they take things from old movies or different other situations to create a storyline about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So apparently Josh Griffin did some interview or put something out that said that was his sister or somebody that struggled with OCD, and that's where he got the idea from the story from or something.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Joshy.
All right.
Great job.
Yeah, I know.
Making it all about himself.
It's one thing if they want to bring, because obviously they did bring awareness to it. When they had Mark Grossman, Judah Mackey, and Melissa Claire Egan at the end of the episode saying, "Hey, if you have a child struggling with, so that's cool." But but you then take the same storyline and twist it into something dark. I mean,
that's what I don't.
Yeah, especially with a kid.
Yeah, like if you're gonna bring awareness to it, like take it seriously.
Right.
We don't need the dark stuff that's I guess they're about to do.
Yeah.
I find that unnecessary, and I don't feel like it is really helping shine a light on anything in regards to OCD.
It kind of takes away from it because for a moment they had it where they brought the attention to it, and then if you go down that road, it's like, okay, you forget all about it because it's so crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
And if they were to do that whole cult storyline, this is where they kind of messed up when it came to Jordan, because the stuff that she said to Harrison, if you'd switch and put Connor in that place, that would kind of make sense with the storylines that they keep pitching regarding the cult, and he's a part of this religious whatever. Like, that would make more sense to me, especially because she's kind of like a leader in that way.
Mm-hmm.
And she tries to brainwash. Like, I don't understand why there's a whole facility that the parents have no access to except for when they get ready to let them see the child.
Yep, I agree. Yep, so. All right, Keish, did we get everything?
I believe so.
Alrighty, so let us, and I know Trish is aching to get to bold.
I said, I'll wait, I swear, I gave my word. I'm holding tight.
Alright, I'm going to let you have the flow in silence, because you about to go on a rant. Alright, so before we switch over to the bold and the beautiful, how many people in the chat, Bree?
Almost 130.
Nice. All right, you guys. Thank you. Make sure you tap that like button. If you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button. On multiple platforms: Instagram, TikTok, Threads, X, Facebook, and I think that's all. Oh, Rumble. Yeah, so and then there's a blog on Medium as well. And lately I've been putting the blog articles into the IG story. And you probably have seen them on X and in Threads as well. So if you kind of like the May 10th episode, that article is already up. So you can go over there and check it out. Just go and click the link in the bio or go to the Instagram story and you will see it there for May 10th. And then, of course, if you're on X and in the Facebook group and also on Threads. I also want to give a thank you so much to Delmonica and Dewan because they have been working the articles in the Facebook group. They have been posting like crazy over there, keeping content going. and keeping engagement up. And so I want to make sure I appreciate you guys over there. And then of course, my fellow co-hosts to do this every week, Bree and Trish and Keish. And then we can't forget about our mod, J Money, in the comment section as well. He pops in every now and then. I know he's busy because he does a lot of streaming on his own. But yeah, he likes to put his 2 cents in there. So, and I appreciate all of you guys. All right, enough of all of that stuff. Let's go ahead and we going to do the summary for the bold and the beautiful. For you're welcome. Oh, thank you so much, Delmonica. Um, for the bold and the beautiful for the week of May 6th through May 10th. Alrighty. So, Hope faints, seeing Sheila alive, while Steffi is bemoans Deacon manipulating Finn into thinking Sheila's alive. Deacon proposes to Sheila as Hope assures Finn that she won't judge him for wanting another chance with his mother. Sheila agrees to marry Deacon as Finn races home to tell Steffi he has miraculous news. Sheila taunts Lee at the hospital as Finn tells Steffi his birth mother is alive. And then finally, Lee attacks Sheila, and Steffi grapples with the facts that Sheila's alive, and Finn is happy about it. Do you want to go first, Trish? I know you've been,
I mean, if you insist, you're gonna push me and force me to go first. Yeah, okay.
Go ahead. Listen, you've
So,
been trying to talk about this since the 7 o'clock hour, so.
and I know it's like the last thing that happened and everything, and we should start at the beginning of the week, but y'all, what that woman just did to Lee, and Lee got on my last nerve, the last several scenes that she had with, being so bossy to her sister and all that, but she turned out to be right. But what Sheila just did to Lee after literally running her burning car off of a road, trying to off her, I was like, where's the scalpel? Where is the scalpel? Where's the needle with the opioid in it? Where is
Wait a minute. Hey, Trish, you want her to find the needle that Claire used for Nikki's neck?
Please, ma'am. Please, ma'am. Yes.
Or the needle Sheila used on Finn to knock him out.
Seriously, she is so vile. There is no redeeming qualities. I know people will disagree with me. Let me tell you, there is no redeeming qualities there, and Finn is stupid.
Did you get it all out, Trish?
I feel so much better.
You're so silly.
Thank you, T.
You're welcome. I know you've been holding that for the past hour and 25 minutes. So, all right, who's next? This is a Sheila rant moment. So go right ahead, get it out.
Go ahead, Keith.
I'm just gonna say the behavior that we saw Sheila pull today and yesterday is what Sheila is supposed to be doing. The nastiness and what she did to Lee is how we expect Sheila to act. And when they were trying to say that she was reformed and she's changed and they were trying to redeem her, like that is what would have pissed me off. Yep. Because we know that that the audience sees Sheila still being the same old Sheila, that eventually all of this stuff is going to come crashing down for her and she's going to lose it all, because that's what Sheila does, is she ruins her own life. So really it's just a matter of time of when that happens.
Yep, TikTok.
Yeah, and I think what pissed me off more was Deacon sitting there laughing with Lee. Deacon, who is trying to convince Finn that his birth mom has changed, is sitting there laughing with Sheila about pranking Lee. And I'm also slightly annoyed with Finn because I feel like he should have at least I mean, maybe it's more of a face-to-face conversation, but I feel like he should have at least, on his way home, gave Lee a call and let her know what was going on. Not because, I'm sure he didn't expect her to run into Sheila, but to me, that's information that you need to get out immediately so somebody isn't shocked.
Right.
And also, Deacon, why not take her to another hospital in LA? Why would you take her to the hospital that Lee works at when she probably has no clue what happened yet? So I don't know. I wanted to punch Deacon in the face when he was sitting there giggling about that, and it's like you're trying to convince everybody she's changed, and she clearly hasn't, because she thought that was funny. She thought that basically messing with a woman that she attempted to murder was funny.
Yep.
All right, Bree.
Goodness gracious. Poor Sheila. Oh, good. This is what I'll say. Rich was right about Finn. He is a stupid boy. He is a PhD, but he's still dumb. 100% correct. And between yesterday and today's episode, that really proved it for me. I wasn't sure how I was feeling about like Sheila and Finn having that relationship. Like I was just upset that he was just hugging his shooter, just with open arms and everything. I'm like, what idiot does that in any horror movie? But the way she treated Lee, that really got underneath my skin. And people keep saying it's a prank. People were too sensitive. And this is nothing. Like, she put her through a bolognese. I do not care. It's nothing in comparison to what Sheila did to Lee. And then after revealing herself, rubbing in Lee's face, saying, oh, my son said he loves me. He's happy I'm alive. He can't wait to spend more time with me and getting to know me. This further proves that this woman hasn't changed anything but her nail color and her highlights, and that's it. She cannot, for the life of herself, get it together. And the thing is, she knew Finn didn't even have an opportunity to tell Lee that Sheila's alive, knowing that was going to upset her and drive her crazy. And personally requested her. But this is a changed woman, apparently, that we're supposed to just ignore all of what she's done and just accept, like, oh, this is just a prank. Whatever. I cannot.
No.
Cannot.
Will not.
Man, I feel like I'm backed in the corner. Y'all three. Because I'm 50-50 on this one, just like I was with Diane. Yes, I call it a prank. And I know you brought up the bolognese. I mean, she come rushing up in there, the girl minding her business, working. You smash bolognese. She tried to be nice to you, server. You breaking dishes and property up at Il Giardino and was able to walk out of there. What I don't like is what you just said when she was throwing it in Lee's face about what Finn told her. I didn't like that part. It's one thing if you scare her with those toes, okay? Anybody be scared of them toes. I'm surprised Deacon kissed them.
Yeah. Kept kissing on him, sucking on him. I'm like, this bunions and toe jam and everything. What is wrong with you?
And shocked her, and then maybe say, well, hey, I think you need to talk to Finn about what's going on. But this whole thing when she was really trying to stick it to her by saying, and she walked close to her and was saying about, he loves me. He said that we're going to never be apart. That's my son. He says I'm his mother. I'm like, yeah, you're doing too much, girlfriend. Sit down before you pass out, because remember, you came in there because you were dizzy. Sit down. But the other part about about the toes and her hiding under it was funny to me. I laughed. I was crazy. But yeah, I know y'all feel differently. So I just stay.
Yeah, because a changed woman like she claimed to be would not have purposely requested to have her victim treat her in the hospital and then play a little prank and hide under the sheets. Like that's not the changed woman that she claims to be. That's not the changed woman that Deacon is saying she is, and that's not the changed woman that Finn is about to try to march around LA get everybody to believe.
All I know is, and I agree with you on that part. All I know is that Kimberly Brown plays one heck of a villain. The way she was looking, her
Yes.
facial reaction under that sheet, I was rolling.
I love to hate Sheila Carter.
Yeah, she
I look.
definitely does her job as a villain because I wasn't buying any of the. Y'all heard me last week. I wasn't buying any of that. I love Steffi so much, and
No way.
I was going to give my life for hers. Didn't nobody believe that.
Mm-hmm.
We knew that wasn't real.
Fire.
All right, so we gotta talk about Hope. We gotta talk about Hopey Hopey. Now she walked in that door because, of course, she told Steffi and everybody at Forrester that she was gonna go talk to her dad and try to stop this Sheila nonsense. Got over there. She was telling him to stop. She looked up, saw Sheila, and passed out. Now a lot of people thought that the girl was pregnant. It was all over blogs and stuff. Oh my God, she passed out. Oh yeah, she got to be pregnant. I don't think that's the case. I could be wrong. I think she passed out because she thought she saw a ghost.
Man, how do people come to that conclusion?
Because they want a Thomas and they want a throat baby, girl. We've been wanting a throat baby since the awakening in July of last year.
And plus, they've been practicing for over a year.
Exactly. You
We
would
know
think.
she's not on birth control.
Right.
Always a voice of question. So I mean, it would be nice for her.
I wouldn't
Mm-hmm.
mind it.
Only after her and Thomas get back together. I don't want this to be
A single mom
have to
type
be
of
together
thing.
for the baby.
Yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying.
I
Yeah.
get it, yeah.
Mm-hmm. But then we see, look like after her finding out the whole Sugar Sheila story, she's kind of supporting Finn.
Mm-hmm.
Are they putting those two together eventually if Thomas don't come back anytime soon?
No chemistry at all.
None whatsoever.
At all. I mean, that's like a brother and a sister.
Wow.
I mean, technically, they would be.
Yeah, because the parents are about to get married.
Yeah.
So they're doing their job, but that's as far as it needs to go. I don't care for him as a couple. Like something, the Hope needs a man that's going to bring stuff out in her. I don't think Finn is going to do that.
Don't be double dipping that peen.
Listen, Liam has been doing it. Liam has been double dipping for a decade. Sure.
Oh, and Wyatt, and oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I one of the things that really pissed me off about Hope this week was when she was sitting there talking to herself when she is in the CEO office and she's like thinking back to what Finn was saying about being excited that Sheila's alive and going home and telling Steffi blah blah blah, and then she says to herself out loud, "I hope Steffi doesn't disappoint you," and I'm like, disappoint her as opposed to Finn disappointing Steffi for what I'm assuming is he's going to try to convince Steffi that she's changed.
Right.
I think, you know what, Keish, I think the way because he's got these high hopes that once he explained this fantastical story, that she's going to be like, oh, wow, really? Sheila tried to save my life? And that's when Hope was like, well, I think you're about to get disappointed. And I think that's what she meant because his hopes are so high.
Well, they only have Sheila's word. I mean, for all we know, after she found out they asked about her, somebody could have sent her a text and she could have stunk herself up and put dirt all over her and shackled herself. You know, we don't know if she, I mean, we don't know.
And that's why it makes even less sense because this woman is a known liar. She's a known liar. This wasn't the first time that she faked her, well, we don't know for sure if she faked her death this time or if she was really held captive, but we're assuming. She's faked her death before. So why are you suddenly, why do you have so much faith in her that everything that she's telling you is the truth? Like, in what way did she try to save Steffi if she was tied up in the basement? Just by saying, don't kill Steffi? Like, how does that make her a hero? Please explain this to me, Finn. You know what I mean? Like, he just sounds like an idiot right now. Liam was right. He's an idiot.
Yep.
That was rich. That was rich. But this
Liam called him an idiot too.
Oh, it means nothing coming from him of all people. That's like calling a pot call the kettle. Like, you sit down.
You silly.
I mean, we could say the same thing about Ridge.
Well, I mean, you know.
Well, he's really a lost cause. There's just no helping him.
Yeah, that option's over.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just, and then just to, when you think about like all of the stuff in the past, like Finn hated her guts after the shooting. Finn hated her guts up until a year ago when he went into the prison and hugged her, and then hugged her again at the court, and then
the saving of Kelly's life would
he
have
told Steffi to cut Sheila some slack after saving Kelly's life. And then all of those, the out of nowhere, this strong connection pops up that he can't get rid of, that he didn't have before, because when they thought Sheila was dead before, he barely batted an eye. It was kind of like, you know, it's always sad when somebody loses their life, but let's move on with our lives, basically. He had none of this reaction. So it's just, all of this just feels so forced for him to react this way when more than a little over a year ago, he wouldn't have had this same reaction.
Black Pick Me, you said Gail. You said Liam is a security guard. Is he Victor's security guard? Is Victor security services? Is that why they're failing so much? Because we know Liam's never at his job.
Oh my God.
I just saw that. I was like,
that is the.
Has been at Forrester a lot, hasn't he?
I mean, man, I'm like, do you work there or what?
For the past few weeks.
Technically, he was in a meeting with Carter.
That's true.
They could have went to El Jardin. He does not need to be over at Forrester for the past 3 weeks straight.
Yeah, what was weird to me, which was crazy to me, I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday episode, he was late for a meeting. You're late for the meeting with Steffi and Carter, and you sit down to talk about where's Finn. And I'm like, dude, you late for the meeting. And then, of course, Steffi didn't answer. And then at the end of the meeting, he said, well, you didn't answer my question. Did you talk to Finn? I'm like, dude, calm down.
He's just, and the thing is, he probably got the best news of his life. As soon as Hope said, like, Sheila's alive, he lit up like a Christmas tree. He was like,
just our cat grin.
Wait a minute, did you see his face?
Yes.
We gotta protect the kids, and my daughter Kelly is over there, and I'm like, oh, here we go.
See, and Steffi already showed that she's jealous. See, this is giving nothing but W's for Liam, and like, why, Finn? Why did you do this? You're a little puke now.
Oh my goodness, you call him little puke.
I'm still working on some nicknames for Finn. I have plenty for Liam. I have none for Finn at the moment, but I'm going to get him one because he's foolish right now.
Yeah, he is.
What were you fighting for Steffi for? Like, for what? Oh. If this is how you were feeling, you could have let her go on to be with Liam if that were the case.
And the fact that he even, I feel like he really thinks that she is going to accept this.
Yep.
I don't know if it's because I think he's coming from the angle of, at least it wasn't my mom. Like, yes, you had to kill someone that broke in the house, but now that we know it wasn't my mom, it's not as bad as we thought, and we can get past this and move on with our lives. But the minute he tells her that he wants to give Sheila a second chance, and he wants to allow Sheila to be in his life, his marriage is over.
Yep.
Well, Jacqueline McInnes Woods did do an interview, and they asked her about whether or not Steffi is going to accept Sheila, and she said not in this lifetime.
Exactly.
And that was from Jackie.
And that's exactly why that marriage is going to be done if it doesn't snap out of it.
I honestly think this is a way to break up that relationship. That's what they want Steam back together. They want Steam back together. There's no reason for them to have brought Ivy on for 2 episodes just to make Steffi jealous.
I feel like they didn't need to do it this
They
way.
didn't need to. Exactly.
They could have. They had plenty of ammunition last summer to cause those problems.
Yes.
They could have used the kisses to break them up. Like, oh my God,
Yeah.
something.
That's why I feel like this is more about giving Sheila a story than it was about breaking them up. I think a breakup is just like a side effect of Sheila being bad. I think this was mainly about giving Sheila something to do.
So, I'm
this
sorry.
better be it, because they have been dragging this Sheila Finn Steffi thing on for 3 years now. Like I'm so tired of the back and forth.
So, have you
have his relationship with Sheila, or tell him, or have him to finally just cut everything off and tell her there's no chance this is happening, and let them move on and move away from that, and give Sheila a different storyline with other people and something else to do.
Now, what was interesting is this so-called interview that has supposedly happened with Kimberlyn, because she, according to her, she was out the door. But then I guess they were saying that she was surprised that, and I know that people, even Tanner Novlin lied about being gone back in 2022, and by May Sweeps 2022, he was back headed to Rome. But the way it was put in the media was something about the fact that she was gone. And then for whatever reason, they were saying that there was a lot of Sheila Carter fans. They was upset and not having her leave. And then, Belle wanting her to come back, and how shocked she was about the fact that they asked her to come back. So, it looks suspect. I think they planned this all along, but I could be wrong. Maybe she did leave and then they wanted her back, and Belle said, nah, come on back. I don't know.
I ain't buying it.
Well, so wait a minute. So we got Sheila as a liar, and you calling Kimberlyn a liar too? A Belle a liar?
I'm calling that whole show. That whole show is a liar.
She said the whole show is a liar. That's a good one, Keish. Even the spoilers be lying.
Right.
So
yes, they do all the time.
Especially on Bowl. Usually Y&R is on point. But except how they hyped it up, Diane and Phyllis's fight for today. That wasn't as hyped up. That was hyped up for no reason. But majority of the time, Y&R is on point. But Bowl, they be sending people off.
It's like they brainstorm ideas and they throw them out to the universe and see, like, so let's see what sticks. Let's see what you guys like. That's what it feels like.
Sometimes it feels like they just want to stoke it.
I don't know what they do. And Bowl is interesting to say the least. When it comes,
they have foot fetishes. That's what they do on Bowl.
She said I have foot.
Stop reminding me of that.
Oh my God! I didn't realize that man was gonna go down there and kiss that girl's toes.
We did not need that.
No, that wasn't necessary. So, are y'all excited about She-Con getting married?
No.
And they getting married. Y'all want to know the wedding day?
I saw it was May 23rd.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yay.
I'm about as excited about them getting married as I was about getting married.
About who? Brook and Ridge?
Yeah.
Well, at least they'll get married before Brook and Ridge will.
Right. I was about to say, like, I would rather watch the She-Con wedding versus Brook and Ridge any day, to be honest. Like,
maybe they'll do like the old rituals from like the 1600s, and he can take her and throw her in a volcano.
Oh my gosh. Dang, Trish.
Or was that AD?
And they can't expect people to show up at this wedding.
Well,
right.
I feel like Hope and Finn will be there.
Of course they will.
Are we taking bets on how low her shirt is, or if she's even going to have one on?
Listen, they gonna have more guests than Quinn and Eric had.
Right?
I think it wasn't nobody at Quinn and Eric's wedding, was
No.
it?
It was so sad. Even Sheila and Eric's first wedding, like people at least showed up, but like Quinn and Eric, that was so devastating. I was in tears for Eric because he didn't deserve that from his family. Especially when they chose the lovers that they chose, and it didn't last. And his marriages have lasted longer in comparison to other people's. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to see how he plans to, if he hasn't been kicked out by then. How do you break that news to Steffi? How do you tell Steffi I'm gonna go to Sheila and Deacon's wedding and support my birth mom? How do you tell that to Lee? I need to see a scene between him and Lee, explaining to Lee and trying to get Lee to accept the fact that he wants Sheila in his life. The woman that tried to murder his mom.
No, I'm unalive.
Yeah.
She said, yeah.
I did it earlier too, Keish.
I just need to see how that conversation. I'm gonna be so pissed if they don't give Lee more of a POV in this, because she did considering that she was a victim of hers, she needs to have a POV, especially when it comes to Finn. Like, they need to talk.
Oh, I feel that they will, especially the way that Sheila brought that news to Lee. You know she's going to be hotter than fish grease at Finn. And this is what devastates me, the fact that he's welcoming this woman with open arms and kind of just disregarding his mom, who loved him since birth. That's why it gets to me when people talk about step parents and adoption, like that people love, if they love that child and chose to be a parental figure for that child, that is their child. And Lee was all of that, raised him to be the doctor that he is. And had the gall to hug the woman who almost unalived him.
Right.
And say that he wants a relationship with her. That is insane to me. Poor Lee. I understand Steffi has her feelings, but poor Lee. That is your boy who did that to you.
Yeah. And then just how easy he sits there and talks about Sugar and what Sheila did to Sugar. When he was explaining that story to Steffi, explaining how Sheila tricked Sugar into getting plastic surgery to look like her, and then basically that Sugar was sitting in jail all this time or before, because they thought she was Sheila.
But that's not why she was in jail.
Who?
Sugar was in jail because what she did to Lauren, she tried to do to Lauren's son. She was in jail for a while for Sheila's stuff, but when she went back for all those years, that was because of what she purposefully tried to do to Finmore.
But at one point, was she not in jail because of
she
something?
Was on the first time.
And so that's what he was saying. She went to jail for Sheila's crimes at one point. But he's explaining this story to Steffi today. And it's like, this is the same man that refuses to believe Thomas Forrester is redeemable.
Right.
And you're sitting here explaining to Steffi how your birth mom, who you want to give another chance, tricked this woman into getting plastic surgery to look like her, and then sat in jail for some stuff that she did. Or even talking about Lauren Fillmore, who was a victim of Sheila's. And just doing it so nonchalantly.
Just casual, like, oh, she did this, but that's nothing. That's nothing. You've done silly stuff like that. Let's just move on from that. I got so annoyed how just relaxed and calm both Hope and Finn. They hear the words coming out of their mouth, but they still feel that she's a changed person who was calculated to do that.
Even if they thought she was a changed person, you still won't forgive or accept Thomas, who hasn't done anything near what Sheila has done in her 30 years. Thomas knew some information about Beth that he kept for a few weeks. He kept his mouth shut. And he has demonized Thomas all this time, and to the point where he's vowed to protect Hope from him. But all of this stuff that Sheila did to all those people in her past, and to you, and to your wife, and to your mom, you just want that to be left in the past, I think is what he said this week. We can just put this in the past. But Thomas, no, we can't put that in the past. He wasn't even there to witness that.
Right. But put him in the same level as his mom. The nerve of this man.
Or his dad. Well, we haven't seen him talk to his dad since he found out that his dad cheated on his mom with Sheila.
Yeah, well, just like they've been doing with all the other characters, we hardly ever see anybody except these core people. They should have brought him back to add to the storyline to give more context or something. They just had him on and boom, he was gone.
Yeah. They need to clarify what happened with Lee. They need to hire someone to play Jack regarding the Luna storyline, regarding the relationship with Finn, because we don't even know how Finn feels about his own dad. And I think the last time we saw the guy who played Jack he was trying to help Sheila out. We don't even know if he's had any contact with Finn or with Hayes or with Seth. Like, nothing.
Yeah, we haven't even heard him talk about Jack.
And how Lee feels about her, I guess her ex-husband, or like
well, we haven't really even seen Lee. This is her first time back in like 7 weeks.
We don't even know if she's divorced. Like, nothing. If they're going to give us all the storyline arc for Finn, then they need to kind of bring some people in. I think Jack will be a great addition regarding Finn's storyline.
Well, look like coming up, Finn and Steffi's marriage takes a hit under the Sheila storm. Hope is going to be there to sympathize with him, so they said watch out for their growing closeness. Steffi may seek some comfort in Liam.
She may seek some comfort.
You know what? I hope she does.
Yeah, I do too. I'm over Finn.
I hope she does. I'm done with Finn. He's stupid.
Well, Liam ain't that far off either, so.
Characters.
What'd you say, Trish?
There's no other characters, so.
Carter is right there.
No, he's
Katie.
We don't even see Katie. Him and Katie broke up 2 months ago.
They did not.
I mean, they could.
They could, you're right.
I just think Bold is doing a terrible job of writing into storylines and leaving loose ends, because the other part of that, which you guys were talking about, Finn and Thomas and whatever, that whole thing with Emma came up, and then boom, it's just gone. And they switched off to RJ and Luna and Zindi.
Yeah.
So
Xander Xander talked about getting revenge on Thomas, didn't he?
Yeah. They were supposed to bring Xander back. That was the spoilers, and it never happened. Yeah. So, I don't know. They just all over the place, the writing team there. It's just crazy.
And it's like they hire these people to come back for a couple of episodes. Mm-hmm. Like, you did that with Xander, with Emma, and now with Ivy. It's like, what? Are you... Because I know they said they were trying to bring back people from the past to kind of, bring, familiar faces. Mm-hmm. These were the familiar faces. No offense. But I would just like them on for a little bit longer. Or at least, to better the storylines or something. Mm-hmm. Or at least, if anything, put Finn with Ivy. I would actually be okay with that.
I mean, is Ivy does she have more scenes?
I don't think so. I think she was on for those 2 days just to hype up Liam and put a fire under Steffi. Because we haven't seen her since.
I was going to say, he can go to Australia. We don't need to see him.
Girl, you so crazy.
No, seriously, I cannot stand the sight of seeing Finn right now.
Finn. I thought you were talking about Leo.
Oh, no. I can't stand the sight of Finn right now. As fine as he is, the way that he's kind of disregarding his real mother, which is Lee, It's just disrespectful. And he's foolish to think his wife is going to accept it. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not
I mean,
gonna
he was
happen.
giddy when they were at Deacon's apartment. It was like he was giddy about the fact that she was alive for him to have a second chance with.
Mm-hmm.
And even like the way that what he said to Steffi today when he was like something about how I thought my wife killed my birth mother, who I never got a chance to know.
I wanted to punch him in the face.
Like,
Man, y'all violent. Y'all coming with the violence.
it was just the tone of his voice to me, I just thought was, I don't know, it was just
like very matter of fact.
It wasn't even matter of fact. It was like he was
Childlike.
like he was mad at her. He was mad at her.
Mad at who? Steph?
Like
Mad at who?
Steffi.
Steph, okay.
He said it. Like the tone of voice that he used, it was almost like he was still upset or mad at her for what she did, for what she thought he did to his birth mom. And it's like, how many times does she have to say? And she said it again. She was like, it was self-defense. And then he was like, right. I know.
Yep.
That's not what I meant. It's like, so why do you say it? Why do you say it like that? It's almost like he wanted her to feel guilty.
Yeah, I agree with that, actually.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, and then we had Steffi's reaction, which we've been intermingling that whole thing in, because she kept thinking that this was unbelievable until it hit her at about 12:50 my time that, oh, it is sugar Sheila. Oh my God, I did not unalive Sheila. I did, because for the first half of the show, she was just like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. No, I didn't. I unalived Sheila. And it finally kicked in about 7 minutes before the show ended. So, to leave us on that.
That was frustrating. So, yesterday and today were frustrating to watch. Because yesterday, I'm like, Finn, get it out. Just tell her. Stop beating around the bush. And then today, it was like, Steffi, listen to what he said.
Exactly. Exactly.
Like, stop dragging this out.
And see, that's what y'all don't have enough y'all only have 18 minutes. Because the other 12 is commercials. 18 minutes to get it together, and y'all got to drag that out. That part didn't make that. Yeah, I agree with you on that, Keish. Because I'm like, dude, just spit it out already yesterday. And then her, it's like, what are you not understanding, Steffi? I mean, seriously. And then she finally get it at about, like I said, the last 5 to 7 minutes of the show. So it was annoying. Like they're trying to drag this on. But yeah, it was a crazy week, to say the least. What's even crazy, and I did a standalone video about it, is this doggone thing about Luna being pregnant possibly next week.
They just keep making that storyline worse and worse.
Well, here's the crazy thing, and a lot of the fans were paying attention when Zende said he wore protection. Now, is protection 100%? No. It could break. And I'm assuming RJ, because she was, a virgin, and she was about to give up her V card, I would assume he would have been protected too.
They actually talked about that before they had sex.
Exactly. So if you got Zende saying that he used protection, and then you had RJ and Luna saying that they had the conversation, who's she pregnant by unless something broke?
Right.
I was surprised they even went this direction. I thought it was honestly done and over with. I thought, if anything, we were going to see like how RJ and Zende were going to try to work together. I was not expecting the pregnancy this soon and it not be Hope. Because I'm like, this girl only slept with RJ twice as far as we've seen, and Zende once. And I'm like, they're doing a lot to this young girl. Yeah. And I'm just not a fan of all of this. But I guess we'll stay tuned, see what happens with that. I was really hoping that Lee was going to be kind of like maybe like a voice of reason to try to help her sister out, or at least help Luna out or something. But I
Yeah,
guess
they.
the grassy kids are having babies now
Yeah, I don't. I mean, like you say, Thomas and Hope have been putting in a lot of practice.
for months.
Right, and these three, she had sex with 3 times. Three,
Twice.
she twice with RJ and once with Zende.
Oh, they had sex twice.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
slept together the day before the party. Luna slept with Zende the day of the party, and then she went to RJ. They slept afterwards. So
Yep.
it back to back to back to back.
Yep. They're all within the same week, which is why they're trying to make this thing about her being pregnant. But again, the conversation of protection had already came up. So why are we going down this route? And
Storyline.
especially, and I mentioned this in my standalone video I did earlier, is the fact that it's already a controversial storyline with her and Zende because of the consent thing, whether she was able to, and then you're gonna bring a baby in the middle of that, you know. So, what'd you say?
I said very unnecessary.
Yep.
Yeah, and the other thing is she don't even know who her own father is.
Yeah.
We still have that storyline out there about Luna's paternity.
She having a baby. She don't even know who her daddy is.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness, this is a mess.
It's a
This
mess.
is a Maury Povich mess.
My thing is, they should have closed up that storyline and give us an answer on who's the father. Is it Jack or is it Finn? You know what I'm saying? Who slept with Poppy? It ain't Bill. Bill was ruled out several times.
Mm-hmm. And by Poppy, she was very clear about that.
Exactly. You know, and then they played around with the fans and having her looking googly eyed at Finn, and then she showed up to the house talking about, I need you to be a father figure. And the girl crying and boo and begging to know who her father is, and boom, dropped.
Oh my lord.
And now she pregnant, possibly.
So Finn might actually be a father and a grandfather. All within the same year.
Oh my God. And get
Unless they hired someone to play Jack so they can kind of clear this up, it would be better if Jack was the father. But if they make Finn the father, he'd be a father and a grandfather.
Dewan said, what if she pregnant by Thomas? Really, Dewan?
Where did Thomas come from?
I don't know.
Have we even seen Luna and Thomas in a scene together?
Girl, there have been pictures floating around on social media with those two. Have you seen them?
I thought they were talking about Sheila being pregnant. I'm looking at
Girl, wait a minute. Let me see if I can upload that picture. Because I was like...
Sheila pregnant for the longest.
Oh my God, she's like 60.
Yeah, I know, she is.
Kids, right?
Say it again?
I said, don't she got 5 kids already?
Girl, yes. Oh, here it is. I'm going to send y'all... I don't know why this picture has been floating around, but I'm going to... Come on. Let's see if I can get it to upload to my computer. But, I saw it. And I'm like, where is this coming from? And I'm wondering, that's probably why Devon brought it up. Because it's been floating on social media. I don't think it happened because we never really seen Thomas anywhere near. Plus, that's his brother's girlfriend.
I think people are just
speculating. Yeah, trying to come up with something. What you saying?
They've never had a scene together.
Nope.
Except for like a party, but that's about it. Like maybe 1 or 2 scenes together.
Mm-hmm. So.
And plus, he was so wrapped up in hope, he couldn't see another woman anyway.
Right. Remember, he's a one-woman man. I guess.
Such a rare find.
Oh man, I know one thing. I wish that we could find out whether or not they're gonna bring Thomas back. So
Right,
So you know what
I think.
else?
Oh, go ahead, Keith.
I was just gonna say, you know what else I heard this week was that Connor Floyd is not coming back as Chance too.
what?
What?
I haven't seen any articles. That's just what I kept seeing people post on.
Twitter?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
was that he supposedly he wasn't coming back, and I haven't found anything like official or anything
Gosh.
like that. But I just keep seeing it from people that are like Shoemance fans because they're
I
pissed
wonder.
off. I hope that's not true.
I hope not. I'm hoping that's not. I hope that's not the reason why they're wrapping Summer and Kyle back together again.
Ooh. I hope they don't make this where she want to get back with Kyle. I mean,
Oh
honestly,
no.
we were so excited about Summer and Chance, and then it just, I don't know.
He is just a fine piece of man. Like that's just a beautiful man. And that's why when people were saying that she was jealous, I'm like, she got that fine, gorgeous, tall drink of water. Why would she even be worried about Kyle? He's Audra's bedpost. Like, no.
I can see her maybe being jealous of the relationship between Harrison and Claire, but not Claire and Kyle.
So Melissa Spencer says, I don't think Matthew Atkinson is coming back because he got a couple of parts in some films. I'm wondering if they were going to recast him then.
Oh man.
I haven't seen anything that said he wasn't coming back though. I don't know. I'm not assuming he's not coming back until I see something official that says he's not.
Yeah.
Well, good for him if he's doing some films. Like, I know a lot of the actors, they do like TV movies and like films and like Dancing with the Stars and like different things. So good for him. And if he's a talented actor, I hope he does keep going up in his career for sure.
Yeah, because right now he's just been stuck as a villain for so long, and then they tried to clean him up by getting with Hope, and I guess he was like, I need to do something else. I mean, we enjoyed it, but
I mean, I'm not gonna pretend like I don't check his IMDb every day to see if there's
any news?
that he's maybe casting something else because they'll put in actors IMDb's like if they have a project that's in production that's not out yet. And I haven't seen anything in his IMDb, so I'm going to assume that he is just taking some leave still.
Yeah.
And we'll be back when he's ready to come back.
I mean, and the crazy thing is that if they do decide to put Hope with Finn, which that's what it look like it's going, even though like one of y'all said like brother and sister.
They do.
If Thomas comes, yeah, if Thomas comes back looking to get back with Hope or whatever, that's going to be something else with Finn.
Finn won't have a shot.
Especially what Thomas does for Hope, he would not.
Well, that depends on the writers. Belle and all, they stupid like that. You know what I'm saying? They'll be having a whole triangle going on for what? We know how Thomas put it down in the bedroom, but for girl,
at that point, I wouldn't even want Thomas to engage in something like that. I would be so annoyed if they make that man try to fight for Hope again. Try to fight another man for Hope.
Me too.
Yeah. Maybe
literally he's had no love interest for 5 years or 4 years until last year. And then as good as they were together to this basically snatch that away and then have him fight another man over her again is no. He deserves better than that. They better cast somebody else for him.
Yeah. I just wish that we would get to see more of like Bill and Lee is much more than what because look like they brought brought Poppy and Luna and all them over there, but then Lee got the back seat.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I know we're going to see a lot of more for now, for sure. And I'm hoping that we get to see a different side to Lee, maybe the softer side of Lee. That we're used to her being very angry and very territorial, and very disciplinarian when it comes to family. We never really seen her kind of break down, like, oh my God, this hurts me. My son, it made me feel this way, and finally just change the character up a little bit. But I would love to see her. Love to see Don DeMont come back. I want him to go back to being original dollar bill that he was, and just raise hell for everybody. Everything is just so like life is on Sesame Street or something. Everything is just happy-go-lucky over at Forrester.
Yeah, Don DeMont is enjoying being a grandfather right now. Their son just had a little baby, and him and his wife has been taking thousands of pictures and posting them to Instagram. So I guess he got all his time off. He can spend time with his family. I gotta give a shout out to Kimberly Brown's Fendi coat. Did you see that?
No.
Ooh, that coat is fire.
Take a look at it.
She and KKL was at an event together, and Kimberly, she wore that Fendi coat, and I'm like, holy moly. I'm going to find that picture. I sent it to you. But I'm like, dang, that coat is fire. I know it had to cost a pretty penny. Because Fendi is not cheap.
No, but that's what happens when you're Michael Myers at daytime.
Exactly. That's what you get. You've been on air for 35 years to be a villain. You can get the chance to buy a Fendi coat.
And that's what I'll also say about like some of the actors who've been like acting for like 25 years plus. Like, I don't mind if I don't see them for a long while because they've already put in plenty of time and storylines and stuff. And that's why I don't mind not seeing Brooke or Eric sometimes. But it's nice when we have like really, really great characters like her, and she's getting rewarded. So good for you, girl.
Yeah. Oh, there that coat is. Hold on a second, girl. Oh man, that coat is sharp. Ooh, sorry about that. It turned on a video. I'll send it in the group chat so y'all can see it. Dang. Oh, there it is.
And I'm so happy they're friends still. They've been friends for all this time.
Yep. In that video, you'll see her with that coat. That coat is fire. Anyway.
Oh, wow.
Did you see that coat?
Money well spent. Okay.
Exactly.
So she has every right to be petty to Lee, I guess.
Oh my goodness. Alright. Did we cover everything on Bold? I mean, it wasn't. It's just like one big wraparound storyline connected with Sheila in the middle.
It was the only storyline.
Yep.
And everybody's reaction, basically.
Oh, I heard her dress for the wedding on the 23rd is going to be off the chain.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Is it Forrester gown? So
absolutely not. Absolutely not.
So it's Spectra. I gotcha. But I mean, good for her. I mean, she'll save money on catering and decor, so she might as well put it in all the dress.
Mm-hmm. So I'm looking forward to seeing that dress to see what it's gonna look like. But I heard it's supposed to be pretty. They're gonna actually go through the whole process. They're gonna obviously everybody's gonna try to stop them. But that wedding is supposed to happen. So she'll be Mrs. Sheila's Carter Sharp.
I don't know why anybody's scared the two of them got married.
Say it again.
I said I don't know why any of them would care if the two of them got married.
Girl, but Steffi would too, because she always trying to control everybody's lives. All right. There you go. Okay, so let's get into our final segments. Um, who's taking some seats? And well, first we're gonna do the flip the script. So if there's a particular scene or storyline that you wish you could change, this is where we flip the script. So, we're gonna do the Young and the Restless first. What you got? Who's going first?
I'd like to have seen Summer tell Victoria to mind her business and stay away from Harrison too.
Oh, okay. There you go. Straight to the point. What you got, Trish or Bree?
Go ahead, Bree.
I wish that Jack was able to read the room and not had gone up to Victor to ask about that man's wife.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. What you got, Trish?
Honestly, I kind of wish that Nikki would have grabbed the pills from Jack and taken them herself.
Oh.
That would have been a real switch up. Then he could blame Jack.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. I see what you're saying. I guess my flip. Oh my God, I got a couple of them, but I'll pick one. I'll go with the whole Mamie thing. I wish she would have said something at the end, which obviously we know what's happened on Monday, and her telling them, "You gonna eat these words," because I mean honestly, I believe she was trying to keep the family going and watch out for Jill, and sure enough, Jill pulled a fast one. So they should have listened to her. All right, what y'all got for Bowl? Oh, did everybody get their flips for Young? Yes.
I think
Okay.
we did.
Okay. Bold.
For Bold, I would like to have seen Carter shirtless.
Oh Lord. Listen.
But I'm disappointed. It's been the past few weeks. He's shown up on scene. He looks good, but the fact that we haven't seen him shirtless is criminal to me. And I would like to flip it to where I get to see my man.
Oh, good Lord have mercy. Girl, you so crazy. All right, Bree. Let's see you with Carter in the shirt. Oh, you know what we didn't talk about? The little low-level flirting between Nate and Audra.
Oh, yeah. That was something.
And you know what made me think of Nate is Bree, because she's usually talking about either Carter or Nate. I forgot about Nate.
Yeah. Yeah, and I forgot about that scene, so
Listen, I want to see Nate and Audra together because I think it's going to be fire. I'm sorry, Bree. I know that's one of your menses and all, but
I think one of them.
One of them.
Mm-hmm. I think what's going to happen is Tucker and Ashley, I think, will end up back together, and that's how Nate and Audra are going to get together finally.
Well, there is a spoiler out there next week where Audra is questioning. Hold on, let me see. I got it in my phone. What was that spoiler? Audra, where are you? Okay, it must be on Tuesday. Yeah, Audra questions Tucker's loyalty. Tuesday the 14th. So, what'd you say?
I said Ashley should, because he keep poking his little nose in Ashley's business every time he sees her.
Yep. So, that may be why they were kind of giving the two of them that scene, to have them kind of have a little flirty banter. But I'm open to it. Hey, obviously, Keish, you want to see Kyle, Lord have mercy, Audra and Nate together?
Yeah, I'd like to see them together.
Bree, I'm not gonna even ask you because I know that's a no.
I wouldn't mind it.
Yeah, I think they listen.
I mean, at least we get to see him.
Well, I keep thinking back to that scene where Audra was about to climb on top of him until Tucker interrupted.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, that was finna get real steamy, and then here come Tucker with his crazy self. I'm like, oh man, okay. And we never seen anything after that with those two up until this week. So, all right, back to the bold flip.
Oh, my flip is I wish when Lee saw those toes, she would have grabbed those ankles and just ripped Sheila right off of that gurney. I know
That's
it, you
funny.
psycho.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, Lee could lose her license over what she just did.
Yeah, and then she was up in there yelling, talking about how she would um
Gonna,
take her life,
yes,
and she was loud about it too.
yes, she was.
Yep. All right, who else got a flip for bold?
This is gonna sound kind of petty, but as soon as Liam heard that Sheila was alive, I was actually hoping that he goes and shows up at Steffi's.
You know, I was thinking the same thing.
Yep.
I would have loved for Liam to have run out of the room as soon as Hope said that to go to Steffi's house.
Yep.
That is funny.
But that would have pissed off Finn that he showed up there, and I'm sure
he could walk in and go cha cha cha.
Oh my God, you crazy.
And you know what? It would be what Finn deserves.
It would.
Yep.
I wouldn't feel sorry for him. I cannot wait. I cannot wait until he figures out that woman has not changed, and he realizes that he ruined his life
Totally.
for her.
And I want Steffi to kick him out. Quickly.
Yeah.
Fast.
Don't leave your
not
own
slow.
beach house, girl. Kick him out.
Oh, it's her house. He moved
yeah.
into her place.
I feel like though she's probably going to end up moving to Eric's again because where would Finn go? They're not going to build him a new
He
set
can go to Deacon's.
unless we only saw
Right. Exactly true.
him in his office.
No, I don't know if he gonna go to.
Can with his mama.
It's like one. What are you gonna do? Sleep on the couch while Deacon and Sheila get freaky in the bedroom? Ew.
Yep. It'll be his
Couch is the bedroom. It's a sofa bed.
He gonna be listen. Finn is gonna be so grossed out because Sheila and Deacon. Remember that scene that they had tore up the bed and they was all sweaty and red and whatnot. They ain't quiet, okay?
No.
So Finn is gonna be like, I gotta get out of here.
He probably used to that smell. Probably smells like feet by now in that house.
Oh my.
I'm just saying, and then on top of that, they keep sitting on that couch, and that is their bed. I'm like, there is no telling what that black light could pull up on that couch.
Oh my gosh.
You know what?
I'm just like, that's what gets me about people just sitting on other people's stuff. I'm like, oh, like your daddy was just like, no. But anywho, we were on flips. Scripting.
Yeah. I guess my flip would have been for Hope. I mean, not Hope. Finn, to just spit it out. That whole episode yesterday was just long and drawn out. To me, it was a filler.
I yelled at my TV screen. Spit it out! You idiot! I told my husband, I said, if there is ever any important information you need to tell me, you need to tell me the final piece of it and then explain to me how you got to that final piece.
I mean, he was giving her like bits and pieces, and she was like, what are you talking about?
It was sugar. Like, she's thinking like sugar in a pound thing of granulated sugar.
Right.
So stupid.
Yeah, I'd be like, dude, would you spit it out already? Come on.
That's how I felt about Deacon last week about the toes.
Right.
Right. Show the picture of sugar on the video. I mean, on the computer.
I know. Oh God, that was crazy.
Oh, frustrating.
All right, now who's taking some seats on The Young and the Restless?
Oh, Victoria.
Yeah.
And Jack.
Jack.
Yes.
And Victor.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep, that sounds about right.
No.
And Claire. I'm so sick of people.
Honestly.
Yeah. The way that they treat that girl, like she's so that was the thing that pissed me off. Victoria keeps doing things where she wants Claire in Harrison's orbit, and then knowing that also involves Summer, but is also annoyed with Summer's attitude towards Claire. And when they went back to the ranch, and she was telling Cole, that they ran into Summer in the park, and he was like, "Oh, I don't want people treating her mean, and she's fragile, and we want her to feel like she's included. We don't want her to be around people that don't make her feel well. Stop trying to bring her around Harrison." Right. And I know they just ran into him in the park, but they should have went the other direction. I don't care if Summer was there or not.
Exactly. And not only that, whenever she saw Summer and she turned around to sit down and she said, looking at Summer, we were having a good time in the park. I'm like, girl, no, Victoria.
Yeah. I got a question for y'all. With regards to Kyle and Summer. Kyle don't have an issue. She do. Who supersedes who?
Well, I think if you have an issue, and I think if you're the partner that has the issue, and it is based on factual information that this woman literally helped her aunt who was deranged and kidnapped her. We all know that part of it, but it doesn't change the fact that she was party to the plot to remove the Newman family from the canvas, including Cole. 5 people.
Right, but he don't think that way. He saw her as a victim and being brainwashed. So that's what I'm saying. They're at an impasse. So who gets their way? Because Summer is like, who are you to supersede me? And of course, we'll see later next week. He's like, no, what I say go. Yeah. How do you, which one of them get their way?
I feel like the fact that Summer said right now, when it came to Claire, she said, I don't feel like Harrison should be spending time with Claire right now. Like, we need to take some time for him to go to counseling and try to, get past what happened. So it's not like she said never ever. She just said right now because this literally just happened. Yep. But it's like everybody is trying to force it. And my question to Kyle would be like, why are you so pressed about this? Yep. Like, why can you not wait, a few weeks or a few months or whatever before we allow her to hang? And why does she need to hang out with Harrison so bad? And Summer was right when she said, because Kyle said, well, he really likes Claire and he has fun with her. And she's like, well, if he asks for brownies for dinner every night, are we going to give it to him?
Absolutely not. Hey, that was perfect.
If this isn't what's best for him right now, and we want him to get counseling, and then maybe we can reassess later, why not do that? Okay. And I don't think Summer is being irrational here.
I don't either.
I agree.
And I don't understand why Kyle is so adamant about her giving Claire a chance. Like, Harrison does not need Claire. There's no reason for Claire to be in his life. He has no connection to her.
Shouldn't he be in school?
Well, they're keeping him out. Remember, they said he'd keeping him out for one more day. That was Summer that said that. Yeah, so whatever, he fine to me, I mean, he's out there going outside playing, feeding ducks and carrying on. He'd be at school. Now in the comments, people are saying Kyle. So Delmonica, Amaya, Myra, who else? Myra say Summer need to go to counseling.
Biological father. I mean, we all know that. And he put this role on Summer, and he asked Summer to take this role, and she took it. She took it seriously, and she's done a really wonderful job, and she's given that child her heart. And so, this is not like something that she just jumped in and said, do this my way. She is, for all intent and purposes, that boy's mother in this moment.
Right. And I guess that's where it comes in, because he's that boy's father, she's that boy's mother, and they're just at a stalemate at this point.
Yeah, I mean, would people's opinion be different if she was his legal guardian, his legal mom, if she adopted him, or
no? But it's the fact that they're two different. What I get where you coming from, because that is a question mark out there about that. But either way, even if that was his biological mother, who supersede who? And I guess that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out, because I just think this is going to go badly.
It doesn't necessarily mean it could go in Kyle's favor, because we also got to remember both Nick and Adam technically share a child, and Nick is raising Christian. So if there was ever a case, where Adam's like, look, I want my child. Well, actually, there was a case, and he lost to Nick. And he wasn't a biological. Nick wasn't a biological father or Christian. So
Right.
it could swing in Summer's direction as well. So it just depends. And plus, we know that Kyle will accept anything. Look at his mother. He welcomed her with open arms too. She left him 20 years ago.
All right. Okay. So I know who left off on taking seats for Young and the Restless.
I think we all just agreed with what was it you, Bree, saying the names, or Trish?
Oh yeah, Victoria.
Oh, I didn't say mine. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's what it was. Because I thought maybe, yeah, y'all did all kind of agree. Honestly, I want Diane to take a seat, and I want Summer to take a seat, because it's just over the top for me. Who's taking the seat for Bold?
Finn.
Sheila's toes is going to take a seat.
She said Sheila's toes.
Finn, Hope, Sheila, and Deacon can all take seats.
Wait a minute. You said Hope, Sheila, Finn, and Deacon?
Yep.
Okay, gotcha. Gotcha.
Them toes can definitely take a seat. I'm just so
The whole
sick of
foot, man. Put those feet in some socks. Get some lotion. Go get a pedi. Do something about it.
Why did we need to see the toes as much as we did?
No.
It was highlighted every episode.
It was. I'm so tired of the word toes at this point.
Yep.
I hate it.
Man, y'all done took just about everybody this week. I'm trying to think.
Took them down.
Shoot, yeah, y'all. Let me think.
You know what? I'll give Steffi a seat for telling Liam. What would I do without you when they were in the office talking?
Man, Keish, you gonna take all of them.
Dang.
You still got Liam and Ridge left.
But what did they really didn't do anything.
The Liam wasn't too bad. Not this week. I didn't rag on him.
Thing that pissed me off this week.
All right, and then let's do our star of the week for Young and the Restless.
The star of the week for me was actually Peter Bergman. As much as I was ragging on Jack, I actually really like Peter. He's a very talented actor, and he was kind of dealing with a lot of range of emotions between his family and Victor, and also what he was dealing with. So I'll give it to Peter.
Anybody else?
Mine's going to be Colleen Sink.
Yeah.
She just plays that crazy role so well.
I can't believe Victor is only feeding her vodka. That was the only thing she fed Nikki, right? No food.
Yep.
I don't even understand. How do you survive off of that?
Well, you only for a short time.
Because, there's no nutrients in alcohol to, sustain the body.
Vodka's made from either potato or rice. So.
Oh, okay. All right. Hey, listen, I'm not a drinker, so I don't know.
It's occasional.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I'm trying to think, who would I give my star of the week to? I'll give it to Lord, Diane. What's her name? God, I'm getting tired.
Susan.
Yeah,
Walters?
Susan. Yeah, Susan Walters, because she was pissed. The girl was hotter than fish grease.
Yeah. Honestly, I think all three of those are good options. I would have said any one of those three. And I can't think of a fourth.
Gotcha. All right, and then Bold.
Lee, I love that she was so freaked out. She did good. And Sheila is just so diabolical. Kimberlyn Brown is she's Gosh, I love to hate that character. She's just evokes the anger in me. It's like, gosh, she just gets away with everything. So I guess her.
Okay.
Yeah, they did have the best scene this week.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, they did. I agree. Yeah, I gotta give it to Kimberly. And that little sneaky face up under that sheet.
Horrible. Oh, so wonderfully horrible.
Yeah, the girl is hilarious. It's natural for her.
I mean, when they got done shooting that, they just laughed so hard.
I bet.
They know how pissed most of us are going to be.
Mm-hmm. Now, who's y'all pickle of the week for the Young and the Restless?
The pickle for me is Victoria. Just the entitledness, just her children can do no wrong. I do not like that. So she was definitely the pickle for me this week. And then trying to go behind Summer's back to no.
That was messed up.
You learn your place.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go with the scene with the Winters family, the Barbara Winters family.
The whole family.
Yeah, because I just
you don't like the storyline.
What you say?
I said you don't like the storyline.
Yeah, I just hate that storyline in general.
Mm-hmm.
It just I'm tired of. It's been I feel like a almost 2-year run of them just being at odds with each other in one way or another.
Oh yeah, I agree. I gotta give it to Victor. I didn't like how he said that he would have left Jack dead on the floor, and he's using Jordan to attack the family and all. It's like, dude, get a grip, okay? Yes, Jack did something stupid, but you need to hold your own L when it comes to your wife.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ride the quiche train. I agree. I think the whole Winters debacle.
Yep. So it was a crazy week. Did you got yours in, Bree, right? Okay. Yeah, it was a crazy week on both shows. I think they really did a good job so far. We are finishing up the second week of May sweeps. We got the third week coming up for the week of the 13th through the 17th, and then sweeps officially end on May 22nd.
Well, this week has been both of the F-bombs. Fun and frustrating.
Yeah, I bet. I know, right, girl? So, yeah, I'm looking forward to. They better to end sweeps month with a bang. And it looked like actually on Bold, that wedding for Shecon is on the 23rd, which is the day after the last day of sweeps. But yeah, hopefully with the whole Winters thing coming up, there's spoilers about Ashley doing something dangerous next week. So, yep.
Fun.
What'd you say?
Fun.
Oh yeah. Lily confronts Jill, but Jill claps back on her on Tuesday. Let's see. Abby's loyalty is tested. And then Victor's revenge plot takes a dangerous turn. So, dangerous for who? Himself or for Jack? I guess we'll have to see.
My money's on Jack.
Yeah.
I don't understand what he's going to use her to do.
Girl, probably gaslight him or something. Or maybe give him more pills or something. Who knows?
And all this is going to do is just push Nikki into Jack's arms, but okay.
Well, the other thing is, we also heard Victor don't trust Diane to call her opportunist, so he can't stand both of them.
My thing is, if he sends her to the Abbott house, that would be dirty, considering she just kidnapped Harrison.
Right. Exactly. I hope that.
I would never forget him.
I honestly was hoping that Colleen would escape and bust his whole thing open, because he lied to everybody that woman is dead, and then she unalived, and then she comes out of nowhere and said he held me hostage, and his family would be hot.
Mm-hmm. You know what I wish actually what's going to happen is Summers might end up getting wind that Victor had that woman alive. Something's going to happen to Harris again. But I would be more happy if at the end of May sweeps on Y&R, Jordan gets out, and on B&B, Liam and Steffi hook up at the end of May sweeps. That's what I'm hoping.
It wouldn't surprise me that them two end up smooching or something again. I don't know. That whole thing. I'm just enjoying the wave. Because it's crazy.
It is absolutely crazy.
Yep. So, all right, you guys. This is it. Thank you all. I'm gonna leave it up in the air because I have to pick up my son from the airport next Friday night. So I will let you know what that's gonna look like in regards to, whether or not we do it Friday or Saturday. I don't know what you guys' schedule look like, but yeah, he's taking a flight in after work. And
Yay.
yeah, he was just here last weekend and he'll be back next weekend because my daughter is also coming in on that Thursday. So,
Excellent.
yeah, they happen to miss my birthday and Mother's Day. So they're both, because of their schedules being so crazy. So they're both going to be here the 16th and the 17th. So,
Oh, that'll be nice.
yep.
Yeah.
And
Oh, everybody have a happy Mother's Day.
yes,
Yeah.
Mother's. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was agreeing with Trish. Happy Mother's Day.
Yes, happy Mother's Day to all the mommies and everything out there. And stay tuned for the spoilers for the week of the 13th through the 17th. And other than that, you guys got anything else?
No. Have a great weekend.
Have a great weekend, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.